is 1879, but it is a history not our own. The guns of the Civil War are silent thanks to an uneasy ceasefire between the forces of the North and South. The Great Quake of '68 sundered the California coast, revealing the superfuel called ghost rock. This in turn powered an age of new science, driving men mad with ambition and something else altogether. The United States is divided into 6 nations in a constant state of conflict. Meanwhile, malevolent and sinister forces work from an unfathomable realm to twist the wills of men to their vile machinations. But one thing remains the same. You live by the gun, you die by the gun.
And we are live as soon as I drop the cameras. Boom. So I will have to pull up the separate configuration. 1 second, folks. Leroy is tuning in remotely due to a minor school shooting event in which he is safe and most assuredly not deceased, at least by all accounts to us. So, welcome. I am your marshal this evening and every evening here at the League of Gentlemen Explorers, Will Thompson. And this is our long-running and most venerable Deadlands Reloaded tabletop RPG live stream event coming at you every Wednesday night. From now into perpetuity. It is technically The Flood is what we are doing, the first plot point campaign. And so far, across, 20 or so hours of playtime, we have done about 6 minutes of it. So we are well into our adventure. And, we find ourselves at an especially precarious juncture this evening. Now, it has been a couple of weeks due to the fact that I was coughing up blood and I had pneumonia, which is super neat. I recommend everybody give it a shot once if you've never been absolutely mortified on a Sunday morning, right? Just give it a shot. Just go, oh, I can't stop coughing. Oh, the bottom of my sink is covered with blood. It's just, I'm telling you, like, if you've ever wanted
once in a lifetime.
If you've ever wanted to say, oh my God, this is it. This is the cancer, right? I don't think you get much better than that. What confused me about it, right, was that everybody I spoke to about it that was a medical professional was super casual. They were like, oh yeah, half a cup? Yeah, okay, that's cool. No biggie. Like, what? Have I missed some statistic about coughing up blood my whole how is this possible that this is not an event? But apparently, it wasn't, because some antibiotics, some steroids later, here I am still breathing, very much less so coughing up blood. But that is all. That's a preamble irrelevant completely to the proceedings of this evening. It has, in fact, been a couple of weeks, and the last episode was perhaps the most tremendously eventful episode of Deadlands Reloaded thus far in our storied and seasoned history. That's included the murder of Chet Atkinson, the nigh impregnation by a hideous bug thing of Eliza O'Day, the recreation of the murder of Victoria Rojas' family, right? And a rival of Jeremiah Decker's rising from his supposed grave to stalk him to a plot point that I'm sure will never be relevant given the number of days they have now stayed stationary in the town of Wagonsend. Speaking of the town of Wagonsend, it has a few peculiar facets, does it not? Yes, it does. It was just a little blood, Ben. I mean, I need to cowboy up, honestly, and I did, with the help of modern medicine. But Wagonsend is a carny town, right? It is comprised predominantly of a giant big top tent centralized to it, in which, several of these carny people apply a daily show, right? There are freak booths around. There's a midway with a main strip with all kinds of ring tosses and ridiculous assortments of other games of air quotes chance, right? And well, that's simply it's a wacky happenstance. But here tonight in this town of carnival freaks and horrors, right, are my four faithful friends and companions, each playing their requisite characters. You'll notice new to the user interface tonight is their character art. Ooh, above their portraits. We used to have a wanted poster thing, and it was thematically just, it was right on point with the aesthetics, but it didn't really constantly convey who each person was, and I found we have a lot of success with 50 Fathoms while it lived with it, so we are continuing the trend here. But with that being said, why don't we have everybody introduce themselves? And the character question of the week is what is a pet peeve of your character? And we will start with the lovely Mary Mead and Eliza O'Day.
Oh, geez. What Eliza's pet peeve? I mean, it's a tie. One of the biggest ones would be men assuming that she has no brain in her head.
Right.
But another would be people acting rashly before making a decision, like running off and doing something. Eliza's.
Are you trying to claim that Eliza O'Day is not a rash individual? Well, now I'm thinking of Six Gun Mary a little here too. I can't help but mix the two in my mind. It is different. It is different. Yes, no, she is a little less rash, certainly.
Yes.
So she dislikes it when people go, well, God only has so much gasoline and it's clear where he put the fuel, right? Like, you're not a fan of that. Or people that act abruptly without, consciously taking in the circumstance. Fantastic. Yep. Fantastic. So, Mike Bowser, why don't you introduce Jeremiah Decker and his pet peeve?
So, my name's Mike, and I play Jeremiah Decker. He's a 30-something, grizzled, hardened man of the West now. He originates in Virginia, and he shoots things more often than not. But pet peeve, I mean, I don't really know.
Does he not like it when somebody uses a knife to open a can of beans? You know, I mean, it could be anything, really. You know, does the sound just, you know?
Well, I was thinking maybe it's people not respecting his excellence, you know?
He is an arrogant fellow.
Not showing the proper level of respect for his skills, I think.
Boy, he has definitely had some fantastical displays of excellence thus far, hasn't he? Yeah. Agreed. Excellent. So, his pet peeve is that he's arrogant. That's the womp womp. Sean McCrae, why don't you introduce Joe Doggett and tell us one of her pet peeves?
All right, our boy Joe Doggett. Anytime.
Oh, you're cutting in and out.
Oh,
Blip, blorp,
all right.
blip,
How's...
blop.
Okay. I don't know. Do you want me to...
Now,
Hold on.
okay, 1 second. Dun, dun, dun. It's going to be connection issues like a month. All right, welcome, Drew. Respect all authority.
How's this? Is it better?
That's. I heard all those words.
Okay.
All right, let's try that.
All right.
All right.
All
Sean
right.
McCrae.
So,
Pet peeve. Joe Dog.
our boy Joe Doggett,
Mm-hmm.
born in Utah, found the cattle range to be her home, and has now rolled like a tumbleweed over and joined this posse.
Mm-hmm.
I guess unnamed as of now, but hey, you gotta figure out a
Yeah, there
posse
isn't a
name.
posse name at this point, right? Yeah, no, it
Not
would
yet.
No,
would
not yet.
be.
No.
And
But,
yeah, pet peeve.
wait, what?
Pet
peeve?
peeve.
Yeah. So I think it's people who walk slow.
Oh yeah,
got
you do
places
not
to
like
be.
slow walkers.
No.
Now, is it because you have a brisk walking pace, or you don't like it when, those gaggles of people form up on a sidewalk, right? And you're trying to just get through, but they're like, man, we're having our
Yeah.
coffee and talking about fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Joe can't walk very fast because apparently her head can't. Her
Mhm.
cannon height is 5'3".
Yeah.
But she's yeah, it's those gaggles that are like, you're in the middle of the road, get out of my way,
Mhm.
kind of thing.
Victoria is currently typing out their pet peeve. So I will tell you guys my pet peeve. I cannot stand the sensation of, when you pull the cardboard away from like a blister package, right? And that front layer of paper comes off with it and you kind of split the package, right? So you tear the cardboard backing on like an action figure, or like you're trying to get a tool out of something, and the packaging rips, and that just for some reason, whatever frequency that paper comes away from that cardboard at, it puts my teeth on edge. It makes, oh god, I just like thinking about it right now has me like irritated. I am sure my blood pressure has risen. Just, I do not understand what it is. I don't, I'm not like, oh no man, only good sounds. I have no other aversions, but for some reason that, oh, yeah, I dislike it. And Victoria hates it when people treat her like a child, 18, and as though she can't understand dire situations when she has seen literally more than what half these peeps have gone through. Oh, and when people drag their feet when they walk. I also dislike that. Not a fan of that either. It doesn't do the same thing that the does for me, but yeah. Like, pick up your fucking feet. What are you? We spent millions of years evolving nigh peak bipedal form for the maneuver. I mean, we're long-distance runners by nature. We're one of the longest distance running species of any species that we can continuously run, right? It's our thing, right? Pick up your fucking feet, for sure. Yeah, stop defying evolutionary biology. And now we've killed 20 minutes completely, nigh completely unrelated to the show. Let's get on with it. So, does anybody want to attempt a recap, or should I do it? Because it has been 2 weeks, and oh my god, so much happened.
You do it, because I did not
You
take any
do
notes.
it.
I did not take. Yeah.
I took notes, but
Okay.
I kind of remember what happened, but
So,
my brain's a little bit like pudding right now. So
at the beginning of last week's episode, Joe Doggett and Victoria Valadez Roja had been led into ever-growing mist by a couple of, misfigured clowns that had beckoned them and, were really spooky. For some reason, they were like, this is a great idea. I think probably Leroy due to a fetish thing that we're starting to discover, and Joe just because, I think it was dice related. But at any rate, that's unrelated. What isn't unrelated is the fact that they were immediately dragged into their own personal hells. Joe Doggett went through a very elaborate grooming, cleansing ritual, right, to prepare her for marriage to a 60-year-old man named Hiram, right, that was going to make her her 10th wife and force her to give birth to a brood of similarly indentured Mormon chitlins, right. Victoria Valadez Roja was made to go to her hacienda and see the state of her barrio, which was burnt to the ground by perhaps a character we have not discussed, so I won't reveal too much about. But in a way that was personally striking to her, saw the flayed-skinned version of her baby sister accuse her of being uncaring, had a little bit of just a bit of a mental episode, right? Was in the fetal position. A figure appeared through the darkness gathering, right? Flaming sword, right? Killed the baby demon, right? And said he was coming. If anybody remembers, he said his name was Reverend Crucible, and that there was, in fact, a reckoning coming. Fascinating because he did seem very holy, but was also clearly employing new science, which, as we've come to discover, maybe isn't, if you're talking holy, new science isn't exactly it. But they wake up in a field just outside of town, right? And they come to find themselves pretty rapidly in the company of JD and Eliza O'Day. Right? They all share notes, right? Everything's wacky. Turns out Joe Doggett, where she was clasped in her marriage ritual, now has a fingerprint wine stain mark on her right hand, where the fingers intertwined with her own. Does not seem to scrub off. Indeed, it does seem to be a part of her. And we found that Victoria Valadez Roja got this lovely shock of white hair, like Bride of Frankenstein. It's like an accent point. It's like a Bellatrix Lestrange thing. It's not really, it's hot, is what I'm saying. It's hot. It just adds something. It's that, I think it's what she was missing, frankly. But that's not me making judgment calls about the value of women based on their appearance. I mean, it's 1880. We're past all that. But, recap, stretching on into eternity. It was determined that Mary was going to accompany the Wilbur Domino fellow, the pale fellow you all see on the screen in front of you now, to the hoedown, more or less against her will. She convinced JD to walk off by handing him a pocket watch filled with the longest fucking note that has ever been written on the inside of a pocket watch. It was literally, "Dear Sir or Madam, to whom it may concern, on this the 14th day of November, in the year of our Lord, 1880, I, Miss Elizabeth," I mean, it was a doozy, but it gave some backstory. It said, try and rescue me if you can. If you can't, no hard feelings. I get it, right? And these are my babies. Please find them, right? If you'll recall, one of the babies was a lady. She had dark hair, green eyes. Looked like she was a cute little baby. The other one looked like he was going to grow up to be a pug, right? But moving on from that plot point, right? Everybody is reconvened at the camp with, Phineas Philgood, right? Who has revealed that, he wasn't always Phineas Feelgood. He had another life, but the Phineas Feelgood affectation helps him sell drugs to unsuspecting dupes, right? And he, thought that Eliza O'Day was a kind of a useful thing to have around, right? Like, he mentioned briefly parading out Joe Doggett, right? And then locking her in the wagon for the beauty potion for 4 hours, and then having Miss O'Day, he had a plot. He was like, I've been thinking on this, she'd be a good gimmick. Plus, he liked staring at her breasts. I mean, he admitted that much as well, too. But, right, that was beside the point. What he did was he brought out a giant jug with 6 X's on it that Joe immediately tried to smell. I mean, seriously, Joe. Seriously. But the plot was hatched that they would pour this ether, pretty much ether, right, into the giant punch bowl that was at the Hoedown Festival, thusly causing everybody to pass out and then absconding with Miss O'Day when there were less, cannibal clowns and weird carny freaks and armed gentlemen and, all of that. Jeremiah Decker very subtly and very smoothly managed to poison the fountain, filled with, well, that's just a big wooden vat, filled with punch that people had started drinking, only to have the very large, very malformed clown gentleman insist that he take a drink, right? They were in the midst of staring at each other when the distraction that was going to allow him to slip the punch in the first place transpired, right? There was a shooting contest after an argument that was done through a series of really terrible performance roles from Joe and Victoria, in which they engaged in a lady shooting contest, choosing for whatever reason, to just fire into a fence post, like a hitching post, right? Backed by a tent, right? They go through several rounds of firing, and in the final round, somebody screams, "Oh, they've been shot!" Right? The doctor comes in, pronounces somebody dead. Joe is handcuffed by the town strongman, who then says, I mean, you're clearly guilty of murder, negligent homicide in the very least. And she is being carted away as we open onto our scene. So that's literally where we're at right now. So, unfortunately, Voice Meter Banana, the program I paid for, decided to update itself, and I have not yet figured out how to fucking change it so the virtual audio cables will pipe Sirenscape through the Discord so everybody can hear it. So we are yet again without a soundscape. So I'm going to try and up the personal animation and description factor, and just trust that you, our lawyer viewers, will, engage in a bit of theater of the mind. But who wants to start first? Oh, Jeremiah Decker wants to start first. So allow me to paint the scene more adequately for everybody. There's a giant corral section with an elevated bleacher seating, right, which Mitch O'Day finds herself with Wilbur Domino, right, who is menacing and leering and all of that and enjoying the spectacle, right. There was a crowd of about 120 people gathered for the hoedown, dancing, milling a boot, right, having their beverages deep in their cups, right. When the pitch of the music picked up and the crowd started to dance in this frenetic, like, the beat dropped and the E kicked in, and everybody was like, I'm here, this is my moment, Oh, you feel so soft, right? At that same moment, a bunch of cannibal clowns on the periphery started snatching people from the group, and people were completely oblivious to just twirling and twirling, dervish style. Everybody here is insane with this passion right now. And we find JD having a goblet of the very drugged fruit punch thrust upon him by an 8-foot-tall. I guess we established earlier that due to the depth at which he had sunk into the ground due to the tracking roll, that he had to weigh something like 4,000 pounds.
Something crazy.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, like a density far beyond anything that would be, like what. But yes, so, Jeremiah, have a drink.
So, before that, I have a card that I'm going to play.
Uh-oh. You're not gonna, are you?
That,
All right, let's do it.
So, this one, I have to assume that this counts. This guy would be a strange incident.
Oh, you're doing it, aren't you? Do you know what the bad luck major hindrance is? Have you read it?
I have.
Okay.
It's a single Benny that I do not get every game.
Yep.
However, currently I have a Jackalope foot, which will cancel that out.
Oh, you son of a bitch! That's right. You get 2 more sessions of that.
So,
oh my god! All right. So this card, he gets to play it, right? And then forever after, he increases the amount of adventure cards he can draw by 1. So he already draws 2 due to the fact that he has the Destiny's Child edge, which means he will now draw 3 fuck the Marshall cards every single game. And I knew the art from this one. Right? I don't read these beforehand because I like to, but I know the art from this one because this one is like the for me one, right? And then I saw it go to him, and I said, yeah, it's all right. We're gonna play this card. I'm gonna take one of your white bennies. Well, no, I'm not, because you have the fucking rabbit's foot, and Joe gets another one actually, so we will do that as well. But I will draw another adventure card for you because you suck. All right. So now that you have done that.
Oh man, I kind of want to play that one too.
Wait, what? No, what is it?
Such amazing. I have the best adventure card. I'm so sorry.
I
have the best adventure
Is
card.
this large clown a wild card?
Yes.
So play on an enemy wild card in the first round of combat, which I'm
Mhm.
about to start. You may not soak wounds from his attacks for the rest of this encounter. That's kind of bad. But draw 3 adventure cards and keep the one of your choice.
I would. I'm not going to metagame this, but you do have a new character rolled, right?
I do.
Okay.
He's not up to our level, but I
Yeah.
do.
No, that's.
Oh my god, what the? Oh my god.
I mean,
Only you.
if you would like
Only
to
you.
not be able to soak wounds from the 8-foot tall, 4,000-pound clown, that
Well, I
is.
plan on killing him immediately. That's my plan.
Okay, remember where he's from?
I plan on sending him back there. Yeah.
That's not.
I'm gonna need just. So first off, I'm gonna pull up the NPC for combat because I just assumed that this would not. I mean,
Oh my
you know, as
god.
a DM,
What
sometimes
are you
you
doing?
try and like paint a picture of an adversary elaborately enough, right? And there are several of them in this scene, right? Wagonsend is a very dangerous place. It's by far it has the highest fear level of anywhere any of you people have visited as players in my campaigns. It is bananas bad. But I really, yeah, I mean,
Are you sure?
I guess my only question, and it's certainly metagaming, is are there any creatures at all that are immune to bullets? You don't have to tell me if he is, but if there are creatures that
oh
exist.
my fucking god, yes. I mean, there are creatures that are made of bugs. There are creatures that are turn into gas. There are creatures that are literally incorporeal. Like, yeah, no, there's a ton of stuff that is immune to bullets, and there are a ton of like parasites that reside within corpses in this universe that unless you hit the parasite, right? Like as we saw with the toughness of some of those guys earlier, right? You're
Yep,
I
the
mean,
husks.
boom, boom, oh, look at me, hey, I put all these holes in it, right? Like
Doesn't matter.
and out of character, right? You know, so the only thing that Manitou requires in order for a body to function is a brainstem. Now, whether or not your gun, unmodified, will punch through the front of this thing's face far enough to, I mean, that's, you know, it's really neither here nor there, but,
So I can assume if I hit him and pass his toughness, which is probably through the roof.
you can assume whatever you like. I mean,
Dude, you're not gonna be able to save me if you do this. You realize that.
Well, they're literally eating people in the crowd. I think.
So here's the thing. I mean, I
over.
don't think Mary has another character ruled. That's the.
I don't
Yeah.
at all. Bruh. What are
Alright.
you thinking?
I'm thinking-
Manitou.
I'm thinking this is
No.
how JD would handle a large clown in the middle of an orgy
Just like
feast.
fake the drink. He doesn't know.
Yeah, it could just be a spirit roll, or it could be a fight with an
Literally.
8-foot tall, 4,000-pound clown. So, I mean, bro.
Dude.
Oh shit! I can't even believe this is the. I mean, that's
Motherfucker.
role playing right there. That's role playing like a motherfucker. I got to give you that. But
Jesus Christ.
Yep. My last question before I make my decision
And
is
die.
is a shooting roll a trait roll?
no.
Okay.
Trait rolls are agility. You know, the stat rolls. Shooting is a skill.
All right. So I might regret this, but I'm
Oh
going
my
to draw
fucking god.
and fan the hammer on this guy.
I fucking.
All right.
JD is a gunslinger who
He is.
arrogant and ruthless.
He is in fact. So
And this is just a large person to me. I
It's
haven't
fine.
seen anything
It's fine.
supernatural.
I want
I'm
you
gonna start
to
coming up with another character concept. So
give me an agility roll versus his notice roll to see whether or not you get the drop on him.
Nope.
You do not get the drop on him. So
the drop would be a +4, right?
Yep.
Let me burn one of these bennies then.
All right. Holy mother! All right. Is that how we're doing it? Is that how you want to play? Is that okay? Okay.
Hey, got lucky, man.
Okay. Oh, Botho, you son of a bitch. All right. Yeah. No, you have the drop on him.
So that means I get to fan the hammer at no penalty, right?
That means you get to fan the hammer starting at a +4, so no penalty. Yes. Jesus. Yes.
Do you want me to roll? Like, do you have him, or you want me just to roll?
Oh, he's in the shot. Yeah, you can go ahead and roll 6 on him.
Okay. Yep. Can I roll on the
combat tracker? Yeah.
Yeah. Here goes nothing.
Kapwing hit. Son of a bitch. Target 4. What? Why? Wait, one tick here. Target 4. Toughness 7, parry 5. Why would his target be 4? Oh, because you're not. Well, because you're in parry range, but still, that hits anyway because you need a 5 against his parry. Yeah, all right. So that is 3 wounds on the first shot. You son of a bitch. And he is going
so
to.
Lucky that fucking worked.
He is going to, well.
Fucking
roll the soap.
Roll the soap because that shit can't be allowed. That is ridiculous.
I just hope he doesn't get it.
Well,
That'd
I know.
be the greatest outcome.
Fine. And then, oh my god, how do I automate the soak on the NPC? Alright, he's just getting a Vigo roll. Ah, just 1 wound, so he is still up. That's good.
I have 5 more.
I know.
Shots.
Yeah, go ahead. Son of a bitch. Big Botho doesn't like you.
If he's already
Isn't he
wounded,
already shaken?
He is already shaken. Yeah. Yeah, I'm aware. You
Okay.
bastard.
well, if he's dead, right?
Yes, Big Botho is dead. Because
Okay.
of your amazing goddamn first roll, and you spending a Benny on the drop, and then yeah, so you get about halfway through fanning the hammer, and now I gotta pull out Wilbur Domino because Wilbur
So
Domino.
it's just bang bang. He's dead.
Yep.
I got 4 more.
No, it's that's not how fan the hammer works. But I do appreciate your enthusiasm.
Hey, it could be. That's all I'm saying.
Unfortunately, Wilbur Domino.
I would like to move as well.
Where would you like to move to?
Well, I don't have a map, but anywhere that's like
not filled with cannibal. Well, it's a
Yeah.
circle. It's a giant circle arena pen thing, right?
There
are
there
2
any
exits.
barrels? I don't think I would.
There's
make
the
it to the
there's the
exit,
drink
but-
stand, and there's the odd cannibal clown sitting at the periphery, right? You can probably see 6 or 7 of them. None of them as big as Botho, but.
Is there any tables or barrels? Or
I mean, there's the
crates?
drink area. You're near there. I mean, you were just 10 feet away from there when he tried to force the drink on you. Nobody has noticed that you shot the clown, right?
Oh.
Who, by the way, is rapidly turning into a puddle of liquid in front of you, just like dissolving.
That's good, maybe.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in that case, I will.
I am sure you have uttered. I mean, any
Right?
big bad would be that easy to kill, right?
Yeah, I just made him mad. It's fine. In that case, I'm going to run for the door if I can.
All right, give me your pace die and give it to me at what? Jesus, that would be a negative 6 from the -4 pre-applied from the multi-action penalty there?
Well, no, it'd only be my third. Well, no, it'd be my second action. If fan the hammer, that's
Oh,
one
yeah,
action.
okay, yeah. You know, you're right. I was thinking of
So-
the penalty applied for the fan the hammer, not the multi-action. So, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I rolled 2 of them, so you can take the 9. if
Yeah.
you want.
Well, I mean, that's fine. Yeah. No, that is 9 is sufficient to get to the exit opposite of where Victoria and Joe were staging their shootout. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just duck out of the tent.
Yeah.
And I'm done.
In that case, Wilbur is going to slide his gun back into the holster, right? And turn to Mary and say, "Don't worry, cousin dear, he won't get far." That was an act of wanton aggression, I'm afraid. Oh.
Your clown was actively trying to poison me.
You do, however, give me a notice roll, Mary.
Okay.
People are starting to collapse. In a not clown related kind of wobble on their feet, they fall over, crawl a couple of feet, pass out.
Okay.
Not everybody, but you would say probably about a fifth of the 100 or so people that still remain there are now starting to fall out.
Okay. Like not what this is?
Huh?
Or
Well, now you have no idea what was going on over there with the beverages or
Gotcha.
anything, but you know, were you in the know, this would probably be that kicking in.
yeah, I can't change that. So I guess I'm just gonna be talking to Wilbur, trying to, you know, keep him distracted. So
Have you ever seen a place, cousin dear, where the veil is so thin?
oh no, I haven't. I mean, it's quite amazing.
It is a
You know,
wondrous thing, is it not?
I mean, it's something. I'm sure there's amazing things you can do here.
Oh,
Just
much more amazing after this evening, cousin dear. Much more amazing.
and now, what is it you're doing? I mean, I see this is quite an elaborate setup. I mean, it's brilliant. I do have to commend you on that.
Flattery will get you everywhere, my dear. But, you know, I'm afraid to tell you, I'm not one of these villains that's gonna go on a massive monologuing soliloquy about the merits of my evil and sinister plan. Suffice to say that you will be a lovely conduit for what is to come. Why, a
See?
vessel of your potency could contain a being of unimaginable power.
And so you feed the Manitous with the people that come to visit. That is quite a smart relationship to keep them on your good side.
Oh, I have very little to do with it. I'm more keeping this side of the world in order. It's my lovely sister Lucinda that does most of the brokering.
And what does she do? I mean, I've seen her powers of manipulation.
Cousin
Are
dear,
wonderful.
you have not even begun to see her powers. Don't worry, you're just a couple hours off now. Joe, you have been led to the, well, far western side of town. Let me pull up the map of Wagonsend. Where the hell is my map? Wagonsend. There you are. Boom. Excellent. So, Wagonsend. Everybody else has been milling about in who? right, the dance was transpiring over here, right, and you have been led to the basement of this building here, which is stone and comprises 3 jail cells. And they've got bars in between them, right? You know, so it's like an open air kind of deal, 3 distinct cells. You have a wooden bench, a little bit of hay, and a bucket for your business.
Okay.
He locks the cell, kind of goes, puts the key ring on his belt, and walks up the stair, closes the door.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You want to say something to him? Go ahead. Yeah.
I was like, is there any chance of knowing when I'm gonna get out of here?
I suspect probably tomorrow morning. I mean, that's generally
Am
when
I
they see
walking?
fit to hang folk. Justice is quick here in Wagonsend.
There's justice in a Carney town?
Oh, yes,
Alright.
ma'am. We got to make our justice where we can find it.
Who's the judge?
You'll find that out soon enough now. Why don't you sleep tight there? And up the stairs, door closed.
Is there anyone else in the room, in the cells?
Yeah, there's a cowboy gentleman. Chilling
He's
in.
sleeping?
Yeah, he's sleeping. Yeah, on his little wooden bench, 2 cells over. There's an open cell between you guys.
Did he stir when they opened the door or anything?
No, he's lying on
No.
his back, hat covering his head. Got his
Classic,
boots
okay.
off, you know.
Laid back.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna. Is there any rocks on the floor?
Are there any rocks on the floor? Yeah.
Or just. Alright, I'm gonna pick one up and try and toss one at him. Mister!
Yeah. All right. So first of all, give me a throwing roll.
Alright. Athletics, I'm assuming, right?
Throwing specifically.
There is no throwing.
Oh, there is
think it's-
in Deadlands. Yeah, no. You were thinking of our
What?
Friday night rules. Yeah, no, throwing is a skill here, I'm afraid. Yeah.
But I thought I loaded up where.
Climbing's a
That I
skill,
wrote-
throwing's
yeah.
a skill.
Huh. I thought. Oh, okay.
Bum bum bum!
Yeah. Alright. Oh, then I don't have it.
Yep, so it'll be an unskilled roll. Trying to toss it through several sets of bars. Yeah, no, it tanks on the bars next time, kind of clatters on the floor. But, I mean, shouting Mister is also, you know, it's not like that's soundproof for it. I mean, you can literally,
Yeah.
you
Okay.
can shout Mister. He goes, what do you want?
How long you been in here for?
2 days.
What'd you do?
Nothing.
You just in here for fun?
Looks that way. Ain't much fun, though.
I can see.
They accuse me of, you know, having my way with the game of cards and the White Elephant Inn, and, you know, that's neither here nor there.
You local?
No, ma'am. You local?
No. No.
Oh, he definitely doesn't look local, neither. I mean, he looks like a, you know, a typical trailhand kind of guy. You know, like he knows his way around a
Okay.
horse, like,
Yeah.
mid-30s, lean.
Gotcha. Alright. I guess it's alright.
That it? Well, all right. Thank you for your service.
You heard about anything about the justice that are they quick with their justice here?
They're quick with the dispensation of it.
You've been here for 2 days?
Yeah. I don't think they think sharking at cards is a hangable offense, fortunate. On account of most of them doing much worse if you had yourself a stroll down that midway. Nah, it might be the fact that I punched out the strong man that got them all riled, but fortunately that ain't necessarily a hangable offense neither.
Good to know. Alright. Well, what's your name?
My name is Morgan.
Morgan. I'm Joe. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well, Joe. What you in for?
Nothing, I guess. That'll keep me. Apparently, I won't be around tomorrow evening, so.
Why is that? What are you jaywalking? I mean, drunk and
I
disorderly. What are they holding you for?
They're holding me for shooting a guy. Murder,
Shooting
I
a
guess.
guy. A little canonically 5'3" gal such yourself. Canonically 5'3".
Don't judge a book by its cover, kind of thing.
Give me a notice roll.
Alright.
Yeah, you hear some kind of commotion coming upstairs. Some kind of wrestling about.
Upstairs?
Slam, slam, and a thud. Then a
I
tumble.
mean, talking or anything?
Nope.
Huh.
And the light shifts, right? It's like somebody's picked a lantern up off a table there. And has started to walk it over to the door. You know, the slats in the wooden door. The light comes through. And the door slowly swings open, right? And down the steps you see a couple of shoeless feet, right? And the deep stained blue of a pair of overalls, right?
Yes!
And
Yes, 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 yes.
he's got like a little shaggy chin goatee, right? And he goes, "Lucy, you down here?"
Yes. Fuck yes.
Shit, I can't remember his name. Don't tell me, because it's canon. She doesn't remember his fucking name.
I even remember his freaking name.
I'm trash at names. Yeah, I'm here.
Your goddess is up ahead.
Oh
I'm
no!
For you.
No, none of this is okay. This is.
I've been arrested. That's why I didn't come back.
Well, I was wanting to do it in a jail cell. No, fortunately, that's not the. He says, "Well, we're gonna need to get out of here. I just knocked out Ezra Fessler. He ain't gonna be none too pleased about that when he wake up."
Gee, you're strong.
Yes, ma'am. Strong for you, sweetheart.
You think you can bend these here, get me out of here?
I'll do you
Bend
one
these
better.
bars
I
and get
could
me
just use the keys I lifted off of Ezra.
You're smart too. Hot damn.
So, yeah, he fumbles through 8 keys, and it's literally the last key, you know, and he opens it up, right, and he goes, wait, I got you something, right, and he digs into the back pocket of his overalls and pulls out a handful of, like, crushed and mangled petunias, right, and thrusts them at you.
This is a real sweet guy, Joe.
You're sweet. Yeah. Oh, you shouldn't have. Sweet man. And she'll take them and, like, awkwardly hold them in
I
her
would have made
hand,
them
you know?
into a daisy chain, but I understand they ain't actually daisy.
Yeah. Well, you tried. You got me flowers.
It's the thought
You
what
sweet.
counts.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
What is his name? I don't remember. Either.
Ridiculous.
It's
Hezekiah.
Hezekiah.
I was like, it's not Cletus.
Yeah, Hezekiah.
Yeah,
It is
Cletus is a while back.
Hezekiah M. Thatcher is his full name,
Oh,
but
there you
Hezekiah.
go.
He's now been flushed out as an NPC. You're welcome.
It's been
my
his name the whole
gosh.
time. Nobody cared to ask him his full name on account of his
Yeah.
southern affectation. They just assumed he was slow because regionalist. But yeah, are you going to abscond with Hezekiah into the gathering night?
Sure.
Sure.
You like hold her hand out and like
Sure.
allow him to pull her out, and then she's gonna like rip.
Oh
her
well,
hand.
he bends over and kisses it
Oh.
and goes,
Yeah. She's doing this
Ashanti,
number, wipes it. Yeah.
Ashanti,
And then she's gonna.
Mademoiselle. Sorry, you make me feel fancy.
Do you mind? Let's get my friend out here. Morgan.
Oh,
Okay,
him?
he's just a friend.
What do you mean
And
by
then she'll, like,
friend, Lucy?
Put her hand on his.
Uh-oh.
Worst time to freeze.
Oh yeah, put his
Worst
hand on
time
his.
to freeze.
What exactly, pray tell? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, this isn't good. So I'm gonna have to. All right, I'm improvising. She put his hand on his.
No,
Oh, okay.
She put her hand on his the breast of his overalls.
Yeah,
Like
mhm.
he has no shirt, so she's just like pat, you know.
He
like,
quivers a little.
He's just a friend. Pat.
Well, you say so, Lucy. I mean, anything for you, darling. And he wanders over there, and it's the first key on this guy's cell. And Morgan looks over and he said, "You know what? If it's the same with y'all, I think I'm gonna take my chances. No aspersions cast upon your fiance or whatever you got going on over there, but I like my odds on this side of the bars. But
Alright, well, it's open.
y'all have yourself an evening."
And then
As you come up the stairs, Ezra Fessler appears to start to be waking. If you want to boot him in the head, as is tradition, get a fighting roll against him.
Get him.
Hey! Holy cow! Since he is currently, coming to consciousness, that was a sufficient.
There you go.
kicked him in the head. Let's get a damage roll.
Poor guy.
Toughness of 5.
will it be like brass knuckles?
Yeah, that'd
or-
be fine. Yeah.
Alright.
Oh yeah. Okay. So you don't get a raise. Fortunately, you just render him unconscious with the kick and don't, snap his neck or dislocate his jaw or any of the other horrible things
Yeah.
you could have potentially done there. But are you going to gather your weapons from the lockbox?
Hell yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
that shit.
Excellent.
And is
Excellent.
there anything that looks like cool in there? I want to
Anything
steal Morgan's shit though.
That looks like cool. Well, yeah. I mean, there are a couple of really nice pistols on a nice gun belt in there, but those would probably be, Mr.
Morgan's.
Devon's.
One of
Yeah.
Morgan's.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. I'll leave him there.
How nice are we talking?
Nicer than yours, certainly. But
Ooh.
also the kind of pistols that would attract a bit of attention, where they'd be worn on the hip and thusly brandished, and might even have a story related to them, where anybody to pay enough attention to, But that's neither here nor there. That's all out of character, Moving on, Jeremiah, you are north entrance, right? And you see Lu Fang, right? Gary, right?
Yay.
There are 3 cannibal clowns assaulting him, and he is
No.
hammered, right? And just when it seems as though they are all collapsing in with their large teeth and bites, he makes a single motion like this, right? And the three of them fall backwards and start to liquefy. You are not sure what happened because you literally staring right at him as it happened, ready to assist, right? We're watching what happened, right? But there are three now dead and gooifying clowns and a still very hammered Gary, aka Liu Fang.
Gary, what the hell did you do to them? I see you're in a
Love him. We need to make him a party member, you guys.
yeah. Bring him with us.
Yes.
You're in a mood tonight, huh, Gary?
Phineas comes rushing over, right, carrying a pistol you have never seen him brandish before, or ever seen before, for that matter. It is a pistol with a large box attached to the back, and it appears to have a quite effusive amount of venting on either side of the thing. Also noteworthy, it is about the length of a derringer.
So a tiny, weird, steampunk-esque pistol.
Yes.
Okay. I don't remember what his actual name was.
Phineas.
His name was like Pete or something. Bill?
Yeah, Bill Smithers.
Smithers. Bill, I don't know if you saw, but Gary and I have liquefied some of the clowns.
Oh, I've seen, good sir. Oh, yeah, I've seen. Yeah, no shit. I think it is time that we make our exit, right? I'm here to sell drugs, not become goo.
No, I agree, but we need to find Victoria and Joe, and then we got to break Eliza out still.
Wait,
have you seen either?
You telling me that wasn't the distraction? What I just saw there, you guys didn't?
Oh, I poisoned the punch, Gary. Or, damn it, Bill. I poisoned the punch.
Gary goes, whoa!
Don't drink any of the punch.
He's not even looking at you guys, though. He's just out in the, staring out into the darkness on the outside of the midway.
Bill, I poisoned it, and then that big son bitch came up behind me, and, well, I don't know if you saw, but kind of...
I heard.
But Eliza's still in there with that pale son bitch.
Why do you think I'm packing the bumblebee?
The bumblebee.
That's
Where'd
right.
you get that?
That's proprietary information. It's only good for one shot.
How good at one shot is it?
Stand behind me when I do it.
Very well.
Have you ever seen an anime, son? No.
Victoria and Joe should have been out here waiting on us. Have you seen either one of them?
In the furthest reaches of the Orient, they have animated movies in which I haven't. Well, I saw Victoria at the other entrance with the shooting contest, and then I saw Joe murder someone and get hauled off to jail. That was the last I saw her.
Murder someone?
Yeah, apparently these regular, scions amongst men decided that they were going to engage in their shooting endeavor in an area backed directly by a tent that contained, once living people. She shot one of the strongmen.
Damn it, Joe. All right, then. Gary,
are those graham
okay?
crackers? I swear to fucking God. Oh, thin wheats. Okay, I just saw the top. I mean, show us just the top of the box again, just real quick. Does that not seem up a little more? Let's see the cracker part.
It's too light of blue.
Right, look at that. Boom. All right. At any rate, well, that could be off-brand. Damn.
That's true.
Brand elitism right there. Oh, they have to be honey wheat. All right, but yeah, that's the last he saw of it.
Gary, are you good to travel, man?
Whoa! He's looking at you this time.
All right. Well,
Every time.
How about you hold that bumblebee in reserve, and let's head out around this tent, see if we can find Victoria, and then we'll head for the marshal's office to maybe spring Joe.
That sounds like a plan. He flicks a very, on-off old-timey metal switch on the thing, and it goes and vents smoke out of either side for a second. He holds it above his hand. He goes, try not to inhale too deeply. And then after a moment, puts it.
I'm going to pull my bandana up over
Right, yeah.
Man.
Yeah, so I will head to the marshal's office with those two.
Excellent. You make it about halfway to, Victoria is along for the ride, of course, because, she is here in spirit and text, but responds very slowly in text. School shooting, we can allow it. This is like one of 3 excuses that allows you to miss Wednesday Deadlands. School shooting is on the list. Right, birth of firstborn child, male firstborn. All right, none of that. Come on.
Oh, come on.
I don't make the rules. I just enforce them. But all right. So yeah, you make it to the outside of the marshal's office just in time to see her stumbling out, arm in arm with Hezekiah, who has the back half of a rifle over his shoulder.
Oh, okay.
He's holding the back half of a rifle.
Yeah, the butt of a rifle. Yeah.
Just walking around hitting people with a butt.
No barrel. No.
Oh my god.
Okay. He was welding this when he went downstairs?
Yes, that's what he used to initially knock Ezra Feshler unconscious and come to your rescue. He was once read a storybook when he was young about a damsel that was locked away in a dungeon, right? And in order to defeat the guards holding her, you needed a mystical weapon. Well, and before this rifle was a club, right, he once fired it once and killed 2 squirrels. So,
hot damn. Man,
that's a magical portend.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yep.
That's like my Glock on Friday night.
Right? Yeah, the Ricochet.
That is better.
Yeah. Ricochet. Actually, honestly, it's Dead is Better is doing gangbusters right now. I thought it was going to go just a couple of weeks and then everybody would be dead. It's huge viewers. It's crazy.
It is so much fun, guys.
Yeah, I'm trying so hard. Trying so hard to kill everybody. Oh man, you were so close to dead.
I know.
That's right, because all of you there are like so parched and hungry right now. Oh, it's great. But that is on Friday. This is Wednesday. We're in Deadlands. You have
find out more.
Reconvened Hezekiah, Joe, JD.
Joe,
Victoria.
I mean Lucy. What?
Yeah, he said my name's Hezekiah, sir.
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah, not Joe.
Lucy, I just shake my head. What the hell happened? I heard you killed somebody out here and got arrested.
Yeah, so she's not gonna have that high. She's gonna talk low and kind of her regular tone with JD and just kind of whisper to him. Yeah, so I shot somebody and
she doesn't know what she's saying, mister. She's delirious. It was me. I shot him cold stone dead. It was me. Hang me. Yeah, I did it. It was a vengeance. It was a vengeance killing, sir.
This man saved me from an unrightful accusation.
Who'd I kill?
What happened.
Hezekiah, sir.
Hezekiah.
You killed him.
Do I look like a marshal to you, son?
What? Yeah. I mean, not
I don't
particular.
give a shit if you killed somebody.
Oh well, then never mind. I didn't do it. Hell.
I ain't hanging nobody neither.
I ain't never killed no man in my life, frankly. That ain't in my nature.
Well,
anyway, we need to get
some of us.
We need to get out of here, JD. I don't
agree.
Have you found Mary? I mean, Jesus.
Mary's care. Mary's character
Who's
Eliza.
Mary? Yeah, no. There's a girl running around named Mary. Have you seen her? So cute.
No, but Eliza is still in danger.
Okay.
we should
Oh
we
my
got two options as I see it, maybe three, right? We could
Mhm.
hit that tent, which I think is the poor plan because, well, I killed a big son of a bitch in there, and there's about 10 more of them. Or we can hit them
Wait,
on their way to the
killed
mansion.
one of
Yeah, he was trying to make me drink poison. You
them?
know,
You killed one of them.
I don't like punch. You know what I mean? Yeah, big eggplant looking ugly son of a bitch.
Hmm. And
But
in
that's
reminder,
besides the point.
Joe's like, "Damn, rifle badass. You've made up for the fact that you missed that first time they met at that bar where you
Yeah.
missed
Uh-huh.
those shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've made up.
Oh.
All right.
No, he didn't. Don't worry.
Anyway, in
Well,
Joe's head.
here's what I'm saying, Joe, and you ain't gonna believe me, but after I killed that son of a bitch, he turned to a puddle of goo and disappeared. And Gary here,
Like porridge?
yeah, blood,
Goo.
porridge, I don't know, slime.
Red goo, sticky, like think gack if it was made out of blood.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like and back then if there was
Everybody
like,
remember gack? Is that
Yes, I was
so
Slime's
Leroy
still a
gack
thing, apparently.
was something that people would pour over celebrities' heads in a time period called the 1990s, right? And it was a big deal to get gacked, right? Because they'd pour goo on you. It's like, yeah, I know. It's confusing, but yes, it's blood gack essentially.
Well,
yeah, mind blown, right, Leroy?
Joe, here's the deal, all right? I don't have an explanation for you, but there's something weird going on, and we got to get Eliza out of here.
You think? Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here.
But she's with that pale feller. I don't remember his name either, but
Shit.
Wilbur.
Wilbur.
Wilbur and Lucinda Domino.
So we either got to hit him at the tent, we got to hit him on the way to the mansion, or we need to get in that mansion and get them before they do whatever kind of weird shit they're doing.
You said they went to a tent or they're in the mansion?
They're in the tent with the hoedown currently. Mary.
Yes.
Wilbur pulls a silver pocket watch out of his pocket, flips it open, and he goes, "Oh, my, the time. Well, my dear, I'm afraid I am indisposed here for a short period, but I will be seeing you in just over an hour and a half now at the Fessler Mansion."
Now, where are you going?
That's for me to know and you to wonder.
But your company is just so enjoyable.
Oh, you don't think I'm going to fall for that now, do you, darling? You have
Well, I
wiles, but
mean,
you must understand, as does my sister. I'm well acquainted with your particular brand of persuasion.
I'm a little different, though.
Oh, I'm sure you
No.
are, and I will explore all of those differences intimately here in a very brief amount of time. So until then, cousin dear, I must bid you adieu. Please don't tarry, and do remember the terms of our agreement. Should you arrive accompanying some individuals, well, I am not sure that I could contain my dear sister's wrath. And, well, let's just say all of this will go down much nicer if nobody has to contain my dear sister's wrath. So until then, ta. And he stands up and he takes his leave, and he leaves you standing, or sitting, I guess, in front of the spectacle. The cannibal clowns have moved in from the periphery and now are just eating the unconscious people.
Okay.
Other people are still kind of slowly dancing now. The fervor seems to be wearing off, but the trance is still very much so. Nobody is acknowledging the charnel house around them. It would appear as though, I mean, none of them are like impeding you. You know, they're having their nightly dinner. the sacrifices. I'm not sure you know a bit about it. It strikes you as though that this would be a frequent enough occurrence to appease any entities that were in any arrangement. This would make sense for that, right? If you're gonna bring a bunch
Yeah.
of foul spirits over and have them do your bidding, well, you got to give them a buffet every now and then. I mean, if
Yeah.
there's in craft services, I mean, are they even unionized?
Man. I guess. Uh, no, there's no stopping me from leaving.
No, you're
right?
free to do whatever the fuck you want. Yeah.
I kind
No,
of want to go to them.
he trusts that you will do as you. I mean, it would be foolish not to in his eyes. And you've made a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah. I guess I kind of want.
They're
to
actually
go to
brother
the...
and sister, not cousin. There, Leroy.
Yeah.
So it's a little more familiar. Hey, you cannot dilute the Whately bloodline. How else are you gonna get that lovely Habsburg chin thing he's got going on?
We're talking about Eliza and that guy.
Ew.
I tried. He's apparently a one woman man.
Well, he's a one-woman man, and frankly, you are a little deluded for his taste.
Apparently.
Yeah. I mean, why go across town when you can go across the hall? You know what I'm saying? Hey.
I guess I kind of.
And his sister is hot.
Oh, smoking hot. There's the picture of the two of them. Do you think he's gonna get? I mean, come on. Come on, he's working with what he's got there, people. We've all been there. We've all been there. Scarred, albino, mentally ill, requiring just the physical intimacy of any other person. It's hard being a stepbrother in 2019. That's all I know. It's
God.
so hard.
Anyway.
Brother, I'm stuck in the washing machine. No, you're not. What?
Right, cut it. Cut the stream.
God.
What's funny is that's all I gotta say, and everybody here turns the color. You all know what I'm fucking talking about. Stop pretending. Yeah, every single one of you. And I am frankly disgusted. But no, moving on. All right.
I kind of want to
Get stuck in a washing machine. I don't think it. I mean, first of all, they're open buckets in this time period, and then it's just that thing that you rub clothes against. I mean.
Yeah, no, thank you. No, thanks.
Oh, you could do. They have that the vice that they press water. All right, no, moving on.
Okay.
Get a little weird.
I kind of want to travel around.
They hit that 18+ button every time they watch this show. God damn it! You want to travel around? All right, where are you traveling to?
I want to see if I can find clues or something to figure out how I can stop or make the ritual harder for them. I kind of want to...
All right. Clue number 1. First of all, are you using your hunch?
Yes.
Okay. Let's get your roll.
Okay. Spell casting.
I think this is the first time you've been able to do that without worrying about
I know, right?
Yeah.
everyone seeing it.
Yeah, people will applaud. Yeah, poof, you get a success. The primary way that you could disable or interfere or impinge upon this ritual would be by not donating your fucking blood to them.
Well,
Full
yes,
stop.
I mean...
Full stop. That's the whole kit and caboodle. They don't care about your shoes. They're not after your hair. They want your blood. They want all of it. Every drop. The less of that they get, the harder it'll be for them to do the ritual. That's full stop. Anything else you can do to make it more difficult? No, that's literally, that's it. That's it. Now, I hate to bring us back to any visions that Joe Doggett might have had during her brief foray into hell, right? But I do seem to recall Lucinda Domino hovering off the ground while you were flayed open, and a pentacle made of blood was, being drawn from your body as the sundering of worlds was undone, and the two coalesced into one hellish existence, thusly dooming the, yeah.
So, if I got rid of some of my blood.
No. I'm afraid
okay,
that,
I'm
like.
just checking. I don't know. I'm like.
Fuck you. I mean, yes, you could definitely, like, go into the river, right, and slit your wrist and just flip them off as you pass out. That is an option, 1,000%. Yes, that would work. Hunter, would you, at the end of that, right, be in a good shape? No. If there is a cup of your blood left in you, they're going to use it. I mean, it'll get them just a little closer. It's not enough for what they need. But yeah, no, they'll take your corpse, they'll hang it upside down, they'll slit you across the sternum, and they'll bleed you into a bucket with what's left. Yeah, no, yeah. They after your goo, woman. After your gack, as it were. And again, Leroy, gack, 90s. It's a slime-like substance that... No problem. But, so... That was your hunch. That was your knowledge.
Yeah, I didn't know if there were like things in place around the carnival. Like if I just got them a little bit off, it would like compensate.
Not around the carnival. Maybe in the room where the ritual is transpiring itself, there might be something. But I mean, even with hunch, that's a little too, especially with the role you got.
No, I get that. I might be an early guest.
You might show up early to the Fessler Manor where... Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. 100%. I'm feeling it. All right, Mike. Yeah, you guys are standing there with a very drunk Lu Fang. Intoxicated Lu Fang. I think it's unfair to pigeonhole him as drunk at this point. That's
Right.
Let's not put him in a box.
He exists beyond drunk.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So JD is not going to let Eliza be sacrificed.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, did we ever decide? Do we want to hit them on the way to the mansion or the tent? Or
Give me a notice roll at a -4, both of you. Fessler Manor is a good deal down the road from the marshal's office.
And I'm sorry, are you saying Fessler Manor?
Fessler Manor, yes.
Name?
As in Ezra Fessler, the guy he knocked out, that was the warden? Yeah, it's weird that the Dominoes would be taking up residence in the Fessler mansion, isn't it? But hey, we haven't explored that at all, so that's neither here nor there. And, Joe, you see Wilbur Domino, solo, stands out quite a bit, albino fellow, right? Open the front gate to his, the front yard of his house, walk up on the porch, sit down, take out a pipe, light it up, and just casually smoke without a care in the world, just sitting there. Mary is not with him.
Eliza.
Where'd he come from again?
Yeah, Eliza's not with him. Now I'm doing it. God damn it. Huh?
Which way? Where did he come from?
He came from the big top, where the hoedown was. Where a bunch of people witnessed you murder somebody.
When I see him, I'm gonna nudge JD over there and kind of...
Hey, Jojo. Welcome.
Yeah.
There's that pale son-bitch right there. I can't see too good. You see Eliza over there too?
No, he just...
No, she is literally sitting in the bleachers, watching a bunch of clowns eat people and playing with a deck of cards right now. That's what's happening with Eliza.
Yeah.
Wednesday night.
Wednesday night,
How we do?
It's not a normal night if there isn't a bunch of...
I had great sound sets planned for the fucking Clown Cannibal Feast, by the way. I'm so upset with my fucking audio situation right now.
Oh, yeah, I'm so happy we
It's
don't get to hear
okay.
gnawing and chewing.
It adds something
Cheering.
visceral to it. Get it? Get it? Visceral. All right. Anyhow, moving on.
Visceral,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got you. I got you.
We got it. Mm.
Well, Joe, I think we're gonna have to check the tent. That was the last place I saw
Yeah.
Eliza.
Mm-hmm.
It's either that or hit the mansion now, because it's clear she ain't on her way there.
Let's do it.
You
I go over
guys
to the
approach the tent where the hoedown was transpiring, and you see 10 clowns emerge, each one of them soaked in blood, and 4 of them are naked, not wearing outfits. One of them is 8 feet tall. He is sinking very much so into the earth with every step he takes.
There's
And
actually 2 added to that. So.
and they are completely ignoring you. They seem almost like sedate, you know?
Damn it, Mary. We're supposed to be able to talk.
Oh yeah, no, it's like a toddler clutching an apple. I'm telling you. He's 8 feet tall. He weighs 4,000 pounds. It's down to his knees, just.
So for the
God.
listeners, viewers,
You know, you ever
our
watch one of
Discord
those
chat
National
is
Geographic
described.
specials, right? And you see the baby elephant just learning to use its trunk for the first time. It's like, you know, it's the whole spectacle. It's.
All right. So that stealth roll is actually a 7.
Yeah,
And
no, that's fine. You hid from him. Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna make
Oh,
my
wait,
way
are
up
we
to the
rolling
tent.
stealth?
I am. I don't know if you want to.
They are
you-
I mean, they literally, like, you could have been right in front of them, and they would have walked double file past you towards where they're going. They're done. They finished. They ate.
Is Hezekiah still with us?
Yeah, Hezekiah's still with you.
Okay.
He's got the rifle but at the ready. He's kind of like braced himself in between you and the folks. And like as one of them gets within 15 feet, he raises it like he's ready, right? And then they just walk past.
My knight in armor. Oh boy.
Well, your
okay.
knight in 1-button overalls.
In
Yeah.
overalls.
Oh
and
boy, ain't even wearing
blue
shoes.
jeans.
I'm just telling you, he's.
And a shirt. Yeah.
Mhm.
And he works with animals.
He does have a church outfit though.
Oh hot damn.
Mhm.
Is it corduroy overall?
No, it's a union suit that he wears under the
Oh,
overalls. Just
okay.
you know,
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
old-fashioned flat PJs, you know. But there are 3 buttons that run up the center of the chest, so it's fancy.
Mm.
I mean, he's only still got 2 of them. He lost one of them, you know, but still the top 1 buttons, and that's the one the Lord cares about.
Mhm. Modesty. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then let's go.
Yeah, I just want to peek in and see if Eliza's in there.
Yeah, so there are bodies everywhere, piled on top of bodies. It seemed like the first ones that were being consumed were just wholesale big chunks torn out of them. It seemed as the smorgasbord continued that the clowns became more particular. You notice bodies with just the eyes removed, some with just like the heart and liver removed, a couple where the brains were scooped out, but the rest of it is whole. They started, after they began their fill, they, maybe just the organ meats, one more bite, that kind of deal.
Hmm.
But it is pretty horrific and is going to require a guts roll.
I have guts.
Yep. You got guts multiplying.
I don't have guts.
Nope. No critical fail, though. You're all just shaking. It's fine.
Ooh.
Oh, you're not shaking. Joe, you're a guy, yeah, well. Shit, clowns eating folks? Shit. Well, no, I think you're girded by Hezekiah. You might have swooned a little, and he was like, I got you. Like. No, he tries to avert your gaze. He tries to avert your gaze. My flower, don't be despoiled by these whores.
Damn it.
Do I see Eliza?
Yeah, she's up in the stands there, like just sitting by her lonesome.
Okay. All alone. Any killer clowns on the
No,
way there?
no, just a room full of corpses, man. That
I
really
will carefully-
badass hoedown music has stopped. So if you guys remember the
Oh.
hoedown music,
Is that a story element or is that because Sirenscape?
that's because Sirenscape.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
I will carefully pick my way across to where Eliza is.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Eliza, you noticed them enter warily.
And this is before I left for the mansion.
Huh? Yeah. No, you were still doing
Okay.
the hunch stuff there. Yeah. Time periods
What the
interlapping.
hell are you guys doing here?
Miss O'Day, let's get out of here. Come on.
We've come to get you out.
It's
Come on.
you guys. You don't understand what they're trying to do.
You don't understand. I could get hanged tomorrow. Come on. They catch me.
I mean, but they're trying to bridge the world. I mean, we can't let this happen.
Well,
They're
you can't-
trying to bridge the worlds. All right, so in character, why don't you guys just, what does that mean to you as a statement, Joe Doggett?
Literally trying to build a empire, like a bridge
Yeah,
around the world. Like that means nothing.
JD,
Miss O'Day,
bridge,
come on.
trying to bridge the worlds. What's that mean to you?
Jesus Christ, Eliza, did you drink the punch? Come on.
No, look.
Bridge the world.
You know those clown things? They're called Manitous. Manitous are from the Shadowlands, otherwise known as the hunting grounds.
I
The
bumped
hunting
Joe.
grounds are
And
what they're trying to connect. So it's hell on earth.
Give me a common knowledge roll, Jeremiah and Joe Doggett.
Yeah, this is like going in one ear out the other.
I
The
bumped
first-
Joe and I'm like, man,
First you're hearing of that, Joe Doggett, there is a children's story about a place called the Hunting Ground. You know, it's a Native American myth, right?
Yeah.
But like, you know, kind of like your grandma was 1/6 Cherokee, and that's why you guys
Mhm.
tan a little better, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those stories.
I mean, really, Miss O'Day, I don't. Let's just you can tell us about these Manitos later on the road. Let's get out of here.
They are gonna kill you. They said if I don't go, they will kill you.
Right.
Lou,
well, they're damn welcome to try, Miss O'Day, but as you saw from your seat up there, they can be killed.
Now remember, one of the 4 naked clowns was in fact 8 feet tall and about 4,000 pounds, and just again had a swang, pendulous dong that was just
The size of Joe.
yeah,
it was a
practically.
tripod.
A tripod.
Either way, I say we go get on the damn wagon and we roll on out of this godforsaken place. You, me, Joe, and Victoria.
So, question, DM.
I don't know what a DM is. There's a marshal present.
Marshall, sorry.
Yeah.
I've been playing D&D lately.
Ew, don't
I
say stuff
cannot
like
remember
that. Ew.
the-
No, we don't yuck other people's yums. It's a perfectly acceptable way to spend time with math. But Savage Worlds, on the I don't know if you've noticed the free-flowing narrative and the amazing
That is
potential for
true.
social conflicts, in addition to conflicts that Savage Worlds provide, in addition to the fantastical nature of its myriad of settings, including Deadlands, Deadlands Noir, Deadlands Lost Colony, Deadlands Hell on Earth, and the soon-to-be announced or released Deadlands Dark Ages. We're going to play through them all, by the way, and there's so much Deadlands that, oh my god, this stream right here is 10 years of Deadlands before we even switch systems, I swear to god. But, alright,
Okay,
so,
so Marshall, for the ritual they're planning, like, they are gonna make this happen no matter what.
If it's not you, yeah, it'll be another Waitley. I mean, you guys are rare, but you're not, you know,
Yeah,
ain't that
well,
rare. Might be
and
a couple of months, might be a year. They'll find someone.
if they want me that bad, they're not just gonna leave me alone. They're
Oh no,
waiting for this.
they are certainly going to pursue this. I mean, until you are a lost cause, there is no reason that they would not.
But I mean more so like
They
they're
have
not
not
just leaving me
played.
sit here to run away.
I mean, that would be an option. I would not say that you have begun to see an estimation of the full scope of their abilities or the reach that they have managed to exert in their months of control over this area. But yeah.
Look, I don't want to go, but I don't think you guys are gonna get them if you don't. And I'm not talking about those damn clowns. I'm talking about the frickin' inbred twins.
No, Leroy, you're never leaving.
Victoria's crying. Miss O'Day,
All
let's
of you
get out
blink,
of here.
and suddenly you're at Joe's wedding. No.
Fucking nightmare.
Miss O'Day, Joe and I, and Victoria, of course, we're not going to leave you here for some inbred psychos
No,
to do whatever they want to do.
So they need my blood. They cannot make this happen. If I can get in that house, I might be able to figure out what the fuck they're gonna do, and I can stop it.
You all give me a notice roll. Don't even bother, Jeremiah. No, give me a notice roll.
Rude.
Hey,
I mean, it's the dice.
Nailed it.
All right. Excellent. You hear a screaming of a male coming from the entrance of the town, down the very end of the midway. Agonized, pained screaming. No, everybody you know is pretty much with you.
Maybe we should check.
It's time to get our asses out of this carnival town. I say we go out the back way while that poor son of a bitch distracts him at the front.
I love this group's propensity to just be like, that seems like a story hook.
I wanted to. Look. We can't just let them die. We need to go see what's going on. Come on. Please. They can help us. What if it's the key? You just run away from everything, you never get to solve something.
The key to what?
What if some random guy screaming at the mouth of town is the key? Now, all right, guys, I want you to seriously, in character, debate whether or not you think Eliza O'Day has her shit together right now.
Joe, I think maybe she drank the damn punch after I poisoned it. I think we should just hog tie her and get her out of here.
It could, in fact, turn into a social conflict, Drew. That screaming is growing more pronounced, and now there appears to be a crowd of carnival workers gathering around.
Lucy's gonna kind of tap,
Lucy.
I guess.
Yeah.
Change name.
Sweetie.
Yes, darling.
Is this something that happens a lot?
I can honestly say, well, sometimes they're screaming, but I ain't never seen a hoedown like this. I've been to a bunch of these dances, and I ain't never seen no bodies.
Yeah, okay.
This is something else altogether.
How long you worked here, Jebediah?
Hezekiah, sir. And going on a year and a half now.
How long has this that pale son of a bitch been running around?
Him and his sister?
Yeah.
5-6 months now, I reckon.
And you ain't noticed nothing change other than tonight?
No, sir.
About
that being said, notice that none of the people that were in there dancing noticed anything either. He could have attended this thing every fucking night, and as a staff member, just never been consumed.
Well, listen, Eliza, if it'll get you to leave town, I will go to the front gate and see what the hell all the commotion's about. But
Okay,
after that, we're not going to the damn mansion. We're getting out of here.
Mm-mm.
we can try. I don't want to be one more reason someone dies. You don't. I can't do that again.
Eliza, do you remember the last man that chased me down? He met us at a train station. You remember what happened to that man?
Yes.
There ain't nobody in this world gonna chase us down
The
without a little bit
screaming
of a
has
retort.
stopped, but the crowd has not dissembled.
Uh,
I say we head there.
yeah, let's head there.
You guys make your way to the edge of town at the end of the midway and kind of shuffle your way through the crowd of carnival workers looking on in shocked silence. And you see a man, his shirt torn, still tucked into his pants, but torn off of his shoulders. Both of his eyes have been burned out. It looked like somebody took a hot poker and shoved them into both of his eye sockets, just blackened, charred pits where they were. And on the front of his chest, deeply gouged in, is just a single word. It says repent.
Repent.
Mm-hmm.
Is he still alive? This guy?
He's murmuring. Yeah, he's just babbling incoherently. He's clearly not long for this world.
Victoria, is there anything that you can do for this poor bastard? All right.
Nope.
Okay.
He dead.
Pull out my gun and shoot him. No, I'm kidding.
Is anybody gonna try and hear what he's murmuring?
Yes.
Yeah, you gonna get down there right next to him?
Yeah, that's the problem.
I'm really worried about leaving this town and letting this happen. So it may be stupidity, but I'm gonna try.
You gonna go down there? Get right next
Yeah.
up to him. Put your ear next to his mouth. Those
Yeah.
ways. He senses you there and snatches the back of your neck, his fingers digging into the flesh of your neck, his knuckles white, and he pulls you close and he says, "He's coming. He's coming." And then falls limp, goes unconscious. And with that, we are going to take our 5-minute mid-session break. Thank you for tuning in so far. We appreciate each and every one of you. Sorry about the soundscapes tonight. I have tried 4 hours now I've dedicated to trying to get Soundscape to work with the new voice meter banana settings, and for 4 hours it has stymied me. Hopefully I have it in order by Friday. But aside from that, if you like the channel, well, share us with your friends. Talk about us, man. Word of mouth is very important. You can hit that follow button. You can hit that subscribe button. You can do that with Amazon Prime. Cost you no money. If you're already getting that one-day delivery, why not show us a little love that way? You could hit that subscribe button, right, and actually give us monies, which is, ludicrous, but that's your choice. Every dollar contributed towards the show certainly makes the show better, and if you think it's fine now, wait until we're actually paid for it. Holy shit,
Yeah.
right? But with that in mind, we are going to take our 5-minute break, and please stick around for the second half, because, boy, it's a dilly of a pickle.
It's adorable.
we got voice.
And we are back. Welcome. Well, I guess don't welcome because you guys have probably all been here the whole time because you're badasses like that. I have to say that I have noticed recently that our viewer stats, right, while staying consistent on the number-wise, the length of time that people are tuning in is nigh for the whole episode on average, which means that the people that are here to stay. And god damn it, we like that. And we like you. So please keep doing that because, we love those stats. And one of these days, we'll get an average that says 75 down there in the bottom as opposed to 6. And then they'll make me a partner. Ooh, and I'll be suckling on the tea to Amazon. Oh, it'll be wonderful. And you will have been here in the beginning. Wow.
Yep.
That's amazing. But we left all of our players consistently and absolutely and undeniably infuculated. But what's the game plan, gang? Repent, he is coming.
Well, we have
In fact,
checked
give
out
me
the front, and we're
a
ready to go.
notice roll.
Okay.
Just straight notice roll.
Yep. Oh, thank you, Jeremiah Decker.
Oof, JD, fuck off.
Just
fuck me too.
transfixed by the spectacle of this guy. So down the road, off in the distance, Eliza, you see two little tiny pinpricks of light, right? Look like torches flickering in the distance. And you'll be damned if it doesn't sound like trumpets.
Oh, hell.
Just off in the wind.
All right, maybe we should go.
Think. Finally, we got her to
Yep.
realize, JD.
Yeah, we
All right,
said
let's
we'd
go.
go to the front and then we'd get out of here. So
Mm-hmm.
this son of a bitch is dead. It don't look like we.
It says that he is coming, whatever this he is. I don't think he's a good person.
Yeah, let's get out.
Well,
All right.
the wagon's on the other side of town, folks.
Do we need it? I guess.
Well,
Bill says, what the fuck do you mean do we need it? Yes, we need it.
He's still with us? Shit.
Yeah.
We got a whole caravan with us. All right, let's go.
Bill and Gary are, I mean, first of all, you owe him
Ride or
5
die.
shows, right? And they are
Yeah,
clearly ride or die. So, like,
Yeah.
yes, he is not going to
Alright.
leave all of his earthly possessions and, like, 2 years of drug accumulation in a wagon on the end of a Carney town by itself. No, that's not happening.
Well, Jebediah, do you know a way back around to avoid any conflict?
You know, mister, I'm starting to think that's intentional. It's Hezekiah, sir. Hezekiah M. Thatcher. That's Hezekiah Mordecai Thatcher.
Certainly.
And
Do you
as
know
Lucy's
a way-
betrothed, sir, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask for a little more respect, sir. We haven't talked about it yet, darling. Don't worry.
She's about to have an aneurysm, but it's fine.
Well, fair enough, Hezekiah. Do you know a goddamn safe path to get back to the back end of this camp?
I mean, probably away from whatever the hell that is.
Yeah, I say we be getting going.
Yeah, she's gonna turn to her betrothed and be like, "Honestly, can you please show us the way?"
Of course, my sweet desert rose. And he, points to the dirt path that leads in between a couple of tents down the
And
south side
yeah.
of Wagonsend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure enough. I mean, nothing interlopes in your path, right? You guys make it to the wagon and start to secure the campsite. This is going to take a few minutes, right? I mean, you had shit set
Yeah,
out,
mhm.
right? You guys are all packing up. Give me a notice roll.
Yeah, Hezekiah seems like a really sweet dude. He's just got a bad rap for his job and education.
Yeah, it's the education system.
Yeah, well, I mean, this makes
Fucking
sense because
Morgan.
it is not terribly difficult to notice that all of a sudden a 30-foot tall cross is ablaze in the front of town, at the very entrance of the midway.
Oh, dear.
Is it the clan?
No, not one. Well, I mean, so
I mean, seriously.
here's the difficulty with the imagery, right? No, it's not. But yes, one could see. We're in Colorado territory. It ain't no clan,
okay.
you know.
There's racist fucks everywhere.
Well,
Unfortunately, as far as wagons go, if you'll recall, Wagonsend has the main drag. It's down in a valley, right? There's the one entrance and the one exit. That being said, there's nothing saying that, you know, anybody would stop everybody from fleeing the town in order to adjudicate who's a sinner or not. So we got nothing to worry about in that regard.
Well, Miss O'Day, got any plans for that giant flaming cross out front?
Now, it should be noted, right, that people generally, when it comes to magical symbols and demonstrations of magic, if it is accompanied by the words Jesus, right, well, that, you know, shit, that's plumb fine. That's fine. Yeah. That's just the Lord working in mysterious ways, right? So this, despite the unnerving portents, right, like, is much less sinister or frowned upon than blood magic or hucksters communicating, you know, like,
Yeah. Question, I guess.
Yep.
Can I sense like the magic coming off of this?
Can't sense the magic coming off of this. I'm going to immediately say no, and I'm going to look over
I
your
have
sheet.
detect, conceal, or con.
It's a full different school. Why don't you spend the points and give me the roll? Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm like, if this thing's bad, then. But I'll try it.
That's enough out of you. Yeah, no, there is powerful magical energy coming from the front of this place. In fact, you would say that it currently dwarfs the similar magical energies you feel emanating from the Fessler Manor. Alien though,
So
different. It's not something you fuck with. Well, I mean that's kind of a, you know, wow, that's a little magicist, isn't it? It's different. It's different.
It's not like the hunting grounds is what I'm getting at.
You don't get
Like,
that sense, no, because
okay.
you can't draw on it, you can't communicate with it, you can't interact with it. It's alien but powerful. You can feel just the raw energy of it, but you have no, you know, it doesn't correspond with you, it doesn't touch your soul, your cards don't do anything, you know, nothing.
Yeah, I was just because I was scared it was like they were working with the mansion, but that was my thought process. I was trying to make sure that they weren't working together. So yeah, let's head out. Otherwise, I'll help and get people along to be able to leave.
All right, so I am going to need some. So there is probably 150, 200 feet on either side of the main drag, right? Before you guys are cut off in this cannon. You are in a wagon being pulled by two horses. I'm assuming. Well, you never got your horses. Shit.
Wait,
My God.
yeah. Is there any horses just, you know?
Oh, just like chilling?
Alone?
Yeah, just, yeah. I mean, yeah, of course, there's a bunch of campsites out here, yeah.
With my horse expertise on the trail and stuff.
Yeah.
Can I see one that looks like something I would ride on the trail? Like,
why don't you give me a riding roll? This will be interesting. Your display of your horsemanship in order to spot a fine.
Woo!
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you get a decent horse out of that. It's no scrawny nag for sure.
Okay.
It is a decent 14 hand tall Appaloosa.
Oh, heck yeah.
White and black spots. It's got a saddle on it. Very, you know, rudimentary though. clearly not a rich
Yeah.
person you are robbing blind of their livelihood animal.
Mm.
Hmm.
Does anyone else need a?
Oh my God. What if this was Chet Atkinson's son Mount and he rode into Wagonsend, finally hot in pursuit?
He's 4 years old. He can't be out here.
Hey, they grow up fast here in the West.
Oh God.
Remember, she does have the hindrance minor enemy because she literally has an enemy that is a minor. He's a minor. Killed his father. Yeah. But moving on. Yeah, don't be ageist. Seriously, what are you even doing, Sean? Damn. In 1890 though. So, yeah, folks. How exactly? And it should be noted also that, I mean, painted in garish letters on the side is, Professor Phineas Feelgood's Alchemical Wonders. I mean, it's not like you can push a button and it's stealth mode,
Oh, shit.
You guys got a whole ass
Phineas
wagon.
Kind of stealth mode blankets or something to throw over his traveling cupboard?
Yeah, and he's got the map that shows you where everybody in Hogwarts is.
Yeah.
Bill, you need to ready that that gun that you got.
Partner, if this is what I think it is, we're gonna need more than this here Bumblebee.
Bumblebee. That's the name of it. Well,
I heard rumor about this.
what'd you hear?
Some fellow, fancying himself an inquisitor.
Well,
Word has he's visited his judgment upon a few of these odd, if you were, towns, and they have been how do I say this, dramatically less odd upon his departure. Yeah.
Well, we're not from here or of here, so I say we keep riding out.
I mean, we could make attempt, certainly. Do you want to drive while I walk through the woodline? I mean,
We'll let
what's
Gary.
your plan, partner? I mean,
Gary can drive. He's drunk.
whoa!
Gary, I need you to focus and get us the hell out of here.
I don't even think Gary's that high.
Well, hold on.
There are loudspeakers now that seem to be crackling into life, emanating from around the giant burning cross. You guys only catch snippets due to the distance you are on the other side of town, but something about the revival,
I want to be watching out for the twins in a second.
Give me a notice roll.
Okay. Hold on, sorry. Okay. Hey.
You do not see the twins, but you do notice several of the clowns fleeing the far side of the town, heading through the field into the woodlines, a couple of them on all fours at a full lope.
Whatever this is, it has them scared. Let's get the hell out of here.
Let's make like a tree and leave. Yeah.
I have still yet to hear a reasonable hypothesis for how you guys are going to get Dr. Feelgood's wagon and accoutrement.
Oh, sorry. I think you need to
revival.
just say, do you want to live and get him the fuck out?
So firstly, lady, right? I'm not evil. I don't do magic. I do drugs. I'm pretty sure he could take a look at my soul, dip me in the river, right? I'm peachy. I am not leaving my whole livelihood here, right, on the off chance that he might think you're a boogeyman.
Look, sir, You may
All
be
right,
fine.
maybe we can do without the fancy broad act. I mean, I still got the shooter. I got Punchy here.
Okay, look, you can do this, but we gotta go.
We gotta go how, lady? Where?
Well, if you are so unblemished there, Bill, maybe you should just ride this wagon straight out of town.
I mean, I would be happy to make the attempt, but if you think I'm going to engage in some kind of conflict with these gentlemen, then you have the very nature of my character mistaken. It's just not.
Well,
That's
no,
not.
we're not saying you're gonna make a conflict. We're trying to get the hell out of here. That's what we mean.
I am
Now,
happy to make an attempt, but if there is any effort to pull over and examine this wagon, I'm gonna do it.
so just to figure out, because I feel like I missed a huge chunk. There are people stopping the
So
wagons.
there is the entrance of the town, one big midway, right? This is
Yeah.
in a valley, an enclosed valley. There is the one
Yeah.
entrance and the one exit. You got to go up this winding trail that exits the valley, leads up to the road where the intersection happens. This was factually described 2 weeks past as you guys first entered Wagonsend.
Yeah.
Didn't seem noteworthy then, but
But what's the problem? Is what I'm trying to.
the 30-foot tall burning cross loudspeaker and spectacle immediately blocking the main exit
Is-
out of town. There's
What
about
about,
150
wasn't there a
feet.
secondary
on-
exit though?
No, there's one way in and out of town. There was a secondary exit out of the dance arena.
Okay.
Now, here, let me show you the map again.
Sorry, I totally missed something.
All right.
So the entrance is blocked. It's not just.
So the cross isn't like in the middle; it's blocked.
Oh no,
Okay.
so the cross
Okay,
is right here.
so
There's a
yeah.
bunch of commotion going right here, but you guys
Okay.
have very little room on either side of that to navigate. You could certainly try and rush it. You could walk up and say, "Hey, are we free to go?" There's lots of things you could try. Phineas here is very hesitant to engage in conflict with whatever this is due to some
Oh,
of the
yeah.
rumors
No,
that
no,
he's
no.
heard that none of you have really asked him to elaborate on, which is fine. I mean, nobody needs. I mean, why would you? It's is that
I'm
a story
going to
hook
in a
I
second.
smell?
I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. What about? Okay, there is a path past Fessler House. Can we fit our wagon there? We could
You
go out
could
that
hide
way.
the wagon back there, but you can't get the wagon out of there. You all could leave on foot, no problem. You just go into the woods, you scale 50 foot of cliff or whatever, poof, you're gone, right? The problem is that Phineas has, I mean, he's got thousands of dollars of drugs in this wagon and a bunch of weird, you know. I mean, it's his everything. It's his house. It's his, you know. That's the problem. If you guys are on foot, or you want to tell Phineas to go fuck himself, you can try your luck in the woods for sure.
With the
And
cross.
so we're in a valley, but there's like mountainy.
It's like a horseshoe valley, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah, it's a horseshoe valley. It's not really mountainy per se, right? But it's rough terrain, right? It's too rough for a
Okay.
wagon. People could definitely scale any of the short cliffs that surround it, but there's no way you could navigate a wagon out of there. It was part of the choice and selection of this town. It's kind of safe. It's enclosed, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Possibly.
So I guess I don't know what to do, honestly. I'm so confused about how things are going. So what do you guys think?
Well, how about I'll hop off the wagon here, go have a look, see what's going on up ahead.
Yeah.
Is skirting around everything and like going just past the that a possibility?
Always an option to try it. Yeah.
About that, guys.
I mean, you can definitely attempt to leave town right now. But again, Bill Smithers is not willing to risk his livelihood on some mad dash,
No,
you know.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You know, if they pull him over, it's like he's riding through the neighborhood, he sees the red and blues, right? He's going to pull over. He's going to let the
Sure.
K9 go over it. You know, that's his.
And just to double check too, he said he knew about rumors. Eliza's gonna ask, what are the rumors? What are you talking about?
Some people talking about a new inquisition. Lots of people get
What?
loony ideas in their heads out here about God and magic and, you know, jackalopes. All kinds of wacky nonsense, right? Some people, they take that conviction a step too far, right? And bingo, bango, bungo, boom, you got whole towns wiped out.
Wiped out.
Well, you know, the weird ones. Again, it's not like he's going to, you know, the good Christian cities. You know, it's a sinner. So, I mean, have you looked around this place? You see a lot of churches?
Well, no, I do not. But look, I mean, if he doesn't discriminate, how do you think he's gonna say you're fine? He destroys the entire town. What if there's a law-abiding,
So,
good-natured Christian person? He's gonna kill them too.
if he kills everybody, lady, who's telling the stories?
His followers.
Maybe. Maybe. I mean, that's a fair point. He might have followers. I mean, he's certainly not alone in doing this, I wouldn't imagine, given, I don't know many people that can hoist a 30-foot cross in the air. You know, single-handed style. Maybe Lu Fang here, huh, Gary? Whoa! Mike,
Yeah,
you
I'm
walking
gonna-
up to the revival?
I'm gonna stealth up.
You're gonna stealth up. Yeah, so are you, like, literally stealthing up, or are you just kind of at the back of the crowd, making yourself unseen, trying to blend in?
Basically, I want to get close enough to see what's up ahead.
Yeah.
And then, you know, not disturb anything or make myself apparent.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck me.
Man,
So I
Jesus.
shoot my gun off in the air.
You critically failed that stealth roll, which means he's got to call you out I mean, he spots
wait,
you
so
in the
there's a
crowd.
guy
So,
there,
oh
too.
yeah, no, we're about to describe all of this right now. What's going on?
Okay,
Here, 'cause
I'm sorry.
there is a lot that is going on here in the front of town now. So, there has been a giant cross erected. It looks like there is a trailer of some sort, a steam wagon on which the thing resides, right? It forms a mobile stage, right, with a pulpit, of course, right, and several big old-timey, like, funnel, you know, microphones, right, where he's talking into giant funnels. A loudspeaker system of giant funnels on either side to the exterior. It is belching luminous green and black smoke. He has a very odd sword at his side, new science, maybe recognized by an individual here or two. He is wearing a solid steel collar / shoulder piece that forms kind of like a one-piece pauldron. It almost looks, you know, like the Egyptian collar wear, right? Except for forged from solid pieces of metal. It looks like it was welded in place, joined on him as though it cannot be removed. He is currently speaking about a revival and taking communion, and several people have lined up to prove their fealty. Beside him is a very short individual, 3.5 feet tall, his mouth sewn shut with large black stitches. In front of him, his arms have both been severed about mid-forearm and replaced with kind of, I want to say, Terminator hands, right, that are clacking at a typewriter, right, on a long scroll that seems to be recording everything the man is saying, right, word for word, silently standing next to him, the clacking going, the scroll just falling on the floor in front of him on the stage, unraveling, already several feet in length. Behind him are 3 masked individuals, one of which with his eyes sewn shut, another one with his mouth sewn shut, and a third with no ears, standing menacingly, wearing executioner hoods would be the most apt way to describe them. All of them are heavily scarred, appear as though they have been in numerous intensely violent confrontations throughout their time. None of them appear to be You know, the kind of people where you'd be like, hey, let's arm wrestle for fun, right? It's a, yes. That is the scene there, and people are sure enough lining up and taking communion. Lastly, with him is a very plainly dressed person, and what could be described as a priest's vestment if it was made of like sackcloth, right? And he is delivering communion to the people in the line there. He's putting a wafer on their tongue, right? And they are sipping from a goblet, right? He's making the sign of the cross, and they are moving along. Totally normal. Just
Yeah,
your normal, you
Yeah.
know.
legit.
Uh-huh.
So how much of that do I see?
All of it. All of it. And he is speaking quite pointedly at this point into the crowd about all of you must seek absolution, my children. For I can feel the stench of evil on this place. I look out across this sea of faces, and I see many that have sinned, many that are filled with wrongs, many that need the Lord's forgiveness. And he looks pointedly at Jeremiah. You, sir, what sins do you find yourself in need of absolution?
uh, well, there's quite a few in my life, sir. I've been
You speak plain and true.
slowly trying to find a way to make it right.
And what is your name, brother?
Uh, Jeremiah Decker, sir.
Jeremiah Decker. Will you come up here and take the sacrament and be made anew in the light of the Lord?
Uh, well, I certainly will. Just one question, if you don't mind.
Yes, my child.
Uh, what is the name of your Lord?
Us, the Lord Jesus Christ.
Well,
The only
amen.
true Lord God.
Amen. I'll take my hat off and walk there.
Excellent, excellent. He, the very thin, very withered looking priest figure, breaks from the communion line and gestures for you to kneel in front of him. Clown Jesus. Amen. No, it's normal Jesus.
Okay. What?
Onk, he says no.
That'd have been a hell of a reveal for midnight, though.
Right, oh yeah, wouldn't it? Boom.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll take communion for Jesus.
Yeah, no problem. He, you know, you get the wafer, you get the little juice, you know, as, you know, and then the man steps off the stage, is step heavy, right, with the weight of his vestment on him, and he walks over and he places a hand on your shoulder and he says, "Have faith, my son," and I need a spirit roll.
My best roll.
Now that's notice. Don't
Yeah,
sell
right.
yourself short.
I will use a bet.
If you insist.
You know what? I will not use a Benny. What's he doing to me?
All right, fantastic. So,
So next time when I back out of something crazy, don't blame me.
so
You're
now,
like, oh, plot hook.
first of all,
I'm like a fish, right? Every once in a while.
I resent the implication, sir. Secondly, no, that's fair. So what happens to a mortal man when, for the briefest of seconds, he looks upon the face of the Almighty Himself? What does the visage of God do to the mortal mind, to a human consciousness? I mean, it seems to me, right, if we are in a universe where there is a singular creator of all of reality, right, to be exposed to the majesty, right, of that would probably be a roll on the dementia table. Oh, hey, look, it's handy. I have the dementia table right here. That's so weird. Well, you weren't very charismatic to begin with, but this isn't permanent anyway. This is just for 24 hours.
Okay.
You didn't
So
critically fail, fortunately. But
So I'm paranoid for 24
yeah,
hours.
you are paranoid for 24 hours. The visage of God was too much for you, and you find yourself, yeah, you probably should have used that, Benny, but that's fine.
Yeah.
No,
I'll take
a
it.
healthy paranoia in this situation, it's just fine. It's just fine. Hashtag
Every once
healthy,
in a while, you got to take the,
healthy paranoia. Yep. And he looks at you right after you kind of come back, and he goes, "Go with God, my child," and he seems satisfied.
Yeah, I'm gonna stumble off the stage
Mm-hmm.
and make my way back towards the wagon.
As you do so, somebody else comes up and takes communion, right? And they get down on their knees, right? They, take the wafer, right? And they reach out for the goblet, and with one movement, he unsheaths the sword, it ignites, and he plunges it down alongside the neck, right there in the collarbone, right through the
What?
torso of the thing, twists it. It writhes and screams, right? And then melts into a puddle.
Wait, what was that? Sorry.
Wow, you are high as hell tonight.
No,
So the pastor, right?
He didn't want to share his biscuits.
Somebody
so he
came up
stabbed
to
us.
take communion, right?
Okay.
Took the wafer, right? He looked at the fella, reached out for the goblet. Whoosh, whoosh, thunk, twist. Guy explodes into goo. Writhes for a second heinously, melts.
So it was a man. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I don't know why I apparently can't speak English, but.
So, the crowd reacts in horror, of course, because he made no effort, unlike the previous carnage, to dispel this in front of people. And he says, "I told you, brothers and sisters, evil is afoot here. And I promise you that by sun's first light, we will vanquish all of it in this foul town and leave you to prosper in both the light of dawn and the light of the Lord. Amen." And the crowd goes, "Amen." That was proof positive, Also should be noted, it's not a wooden cross that's burning behind him, but a big metal one with gas vents built into it. This is part of the demonstration. They don't custom erect one every time, they just build one.
Mirrors.
Yeah, so I'll go back and tell the crew they want you to take communion and confess your sins. And I would not lie, that man. Joe, if you do this, brace yourself.
I can't go up there. Oh.
Yeah, Eliza's kind of.
Do we have to? You think we have to? I mean, to get past him, we probably have to. Oh, man.
Phineas is already on his way. He's dragging Lu Fang.
Yeah,
Got a question. Marshall.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have Whately blood.
Yeah.
Do I think that I will be vanquished if I go up there and get communion?
I don't. How aware are you that you are the result of a direct union with Lucifer? Like, I'm not sure. Like, what does Whately blood? It means that one of your ancestors literally banged Satan. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how much of that you were cognizant of. You know your blood gives you powers. You know other people are weird about it.
I know I can hurt myself to make powers.
You certainly weren't indoctrinated enough to utilize the blood magic or anything like that, right? Most people very young are brought up in it, right? You kind of discovered this happenstance through your own circumstance, right? Like the
Yeah.
So I'm not sure that you know that you are the seed of Satan, but out of character, I can guarantee you he will.
Yeah. Look, I cannot go up there. He will kill me.
Kind of a rock and a hard place at this point. I mean, because, like, on the one hand, you have the crazy Domino twins that very much so would like to kill Eliza O'Day. And then on the other hand, you have the very crazy Reverend Crucible that would very much so like to kill Eliza O'Day. And probably Victoria Valadez Roja, for that matter, as well.
Fuck me.
So you said we could run in the forest?
You could definitely, yes, walk into the Night's Forest where all the cannibal clowns run while still being actively hunted by the Whately twins. You're 100% you are so welcome to do that.
I have no idea what to do.
I know, that's the roughness of this whole scenario, isn't it? Is that none of these options that you guys have are immediately apparent as the right one, are they? That's, It's almost like it's the Kobayashi Maru, you know?
At least
wow, lack of Star Trek nerd reference getters, jeez.
Oh, I did get that. Thank you very much.
There we go.
That's why I gave the look.
I'm not a Trekkie.
There we go.
Okay, bye.
That's a shunning. That's an official. Turning back around now.
Fine, I'll live.
There you go. All right. You've been shunned. But yeah, it's a real Sophie's choice, right? I say you just killed Miss O'Day, you know? I mean, honestly, now for the rest of y'all, right?
Well, for me
I mean,
and
if you weren't good people, right? it is an option. It is, you know. I don't think that's in your characters. Well, I don't think that's in Joe's character, right? I think Jeremiah would do it in a hot second if the stakes got grim enough, but I don't think Joe would do it. That being said, I mean, if you guys just get rid of the center or give them to the Whateleys and take I mean, you know, poof, always an option. There are so many options. None of them are great.
Loyal.
That's true. You do have loyal.
I'm an arrogant, ruthless son of a bitch, but
You are loyal.
I don't know whether, like, 'cause this guy seems like a black and white attitude.
So, I mean, have you ever met a religious fundamentalist that had shades of gray? No, that's not really the, you know, it's boop boop, right? There's a column A, there's a column dead. It's apparent that another creature has gone up there. There's another hideous shriek that plays out in the distance. The crowd all cheers.
I mean, maybe we can find... I know I'm for sure dead if we go to the Reverend.
Yeah.
That's like a no... Yeah. I'm semi-dead if we go towards the Domino twins.
I think you're pretty dead either way, because he's not going to leave the town like, oh, glad everyone came.
And so there is something else to consider, right? The whole reason you're worried about this guy killing you, right, is because of your Whately blood, right? Who else in this town, right, might also have Whately blood? Or might be literally in the act of perpetuating the kind of exact sort of profane magics that old boy is here to end. You know, I give you guys way too... I mean, why do I even do this as a marshal? Like, I should let you guys just sit here for the rest of the night going, what if we stick our thumbs in our butt? Will that help? If we do both of them, we can
daily drink Dumb bitch juice every day.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, so like there's a lot of angles here, right? A
So
lot of
like
angles.
we could try and kill them to like get our way out. I don't know.
Hell, if you guys sit on the edge of town long enough, maybe this shit will sort itself out. You know? I mean, if you think after communion he's not going to be interested in like a house to house, you know. He does strike
I know
Jeremiah
better than that.
at least as thorough.
Yeah,
And,
that's
Like a
why.
good guy.
Also, Jeremiah, you definitely got he's a true believer. This is not charlatan. He does not, you know, he is 100% fanatical. And those boys behind him and his typewriter buddy are clearly fanatics. I mean, they butchered themselves in the pursuit of this holiness or whatever, his ideal of it.
Yeah.
So that whole group, true believers.
Well, so am I now. He showed me God.
That's true. You did see the face of God, honestly.
You know? Yeah.
And shit, Jeremiah
proper.
Decker, if this gave you a religious epiphany, right? The next time you leveled up, right? Well, you might have. I mean, you know, you might have found the Lord.
I feel like I did.
Yeah. That could lead to a whole new facet of you should definitely, before you agree to this now, you need to read all the stuff that's required of the blessed in order to stay blessed, because
Yeah, I've read it.
boy, that's a long ass list of shit you're not allowed to do anymore, like liquor and whores and cursing and all kinds of stuff. But you know,
Well,
murder.
At this very moment, I've been saved.
It's true. Yeah, hallelujah.
Communion.
Well,
All
now,
my sins are absolved.
at this moment, then too, right? If you are in fact saved, right? Miss O'Day is kind of icky. There's something icky.
Hmm.
If you've seen God now, you know that ain't
Well,
God.
The good news for Miss O'Day is that religious beliefs are wide ranging, and maybe I believe that since a sinner like myself can be saved, someone born of sin
I
could also be saved.
once was lost. Instead of a snake handling church, it's just a gun handling church.
I did not know that was a real thing.
What, snake handling churches?
Yeah, holy shit. I was rewatching The Simpsons and I was like, is that a real thing? And I looked it up and I was like, oh.
There's a documentary about this fellow that dies. He's a second-generation snake handler. His dad handled snakes in the church. He got bit like 3 times. It's a really, I forget the name of it, but it is really like you sit there for an hour and a half and you go, what in the actual fuck? Like, it's amazing. But,
yep.
So you've seen the light.
Everybody looking up church, snake handling church now? Like,
right, yeah.
No, I think I'm going to try to talk Joe into going and getting communion.
Jesus.
Okay, so let me just iron out our options here because they're
right. Profuse. Multitudinous.
Go after the Whateleys and use them as a bargaining chip.
That is technically that's an option.
I don't know what to do.
I wouldn't phrase it like that.
Let's put that one on the B list. Okay.
Oh, are you able to sacrifice them and use their power to something?
I mean, yeah.
I wouldn't.
We haven't really examined that yet, have we? No, nobody's dove into a lot of facets of this town. It turns out.
Mm-hmm.
The power imbalance, the politics, none of it. We didn't explore any of that. That's my fault, though. I didn't dress it up enough. I should have put the little, when you serve your players a meal, right? You got to do the turkey and you got to put the little booties on it, right? You got to make sure the stuffing is perfect. You can't just be like, hey, look, it's pick your own dinner tonight. It clearly doesn't work.
Okay, so literally right now, I don't know what to do. Like, as a player, I hardly know what's going on. So
Have I not described it well? I've been. There's a lot going on, but
No, I think you nailed it.
all right.
I think she just doesn't have a whole lot of options.
That's true.
Sound,
Yeah.
you know?
I mean, there are no good options for any of you, really.
So
Yeah.
I will go with whatever you guys think, but right now I'm kind of.
We should definitely end the episode with Eliza taking communion right there. That's how I want to. No.
I'm kind of having a crisis of character here because
Yeah. You
I've been
did see the
saved.
face of God. Yeah, literally beheld
Like,
it
you
in all
can't
its
come back from
majesty.
that,
You can't.
right?
No, it changes you fundamentally.
I'm loyal, but to who? And I'm ruthless.
Big ups on high. That's who you're loyal to.
Right. So it's like
Faith +1, you know?
like there's gonna be one set of footprints in the beach.
Right, exactly. And that's because you carried Eliza to the Inquisitor.
Oh no.
No, I'm thinking about going and getting the Inquisitor and then taking him to the man.
Oh, to the man. Oh, I know where this iniquity lies.
I know where Eliza stands on
Yeah.
being a good person.
Right.
You know, she's a sinner, but Jesus loved, you know.
Yeah, Mary Magdalene, you know?
Yeah.
She was a lady of ill repute.
Yeah, he saved whores and vagabonds and everything else. But those people are definitely evil.
Now, that is maybe the first idea I have heard that makes any fucking sense at all. But, you know.
Oh my God. You found Jesus and now you're smart.
I'm just saying, the Lord works in mysterious ways, brothers and sisters.
I might ask.
Amen.
I'm gonna level up prematurely. No. Yeah, I think I'm gonna grab Joe and say, you know, Joe, you need to see this.
You
This
cut
man-
out.
Joe, you need to see this, he said.
This man will change your entire outlook on life.
It is now clear that the crowd is singing Amazing Grace.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Joe,
And
we've been to hell.
Yeah.
This person might recognize our faces.
So firstly, nobody was marked. Nobody was marked upon leaving the hunting grounds, and this is not a relevant factoid to think about when. Uh-oh, we lost Mary.
Mm-hmm.
Cameras will be back shortly, hopefully.
I'm still here.
Yeah, we're all still here. You can just see parts of people. Yeah, well, you can see your hands. You gotta crouch more, Sean. Crouch more. But
just get your eyes down at the letterbox.
Uh-oh, and she lost connection to Fantasy Grounds. We might lose her proper.
No.
But internet just stopped. Have to restart computer. All right. Well, at any rate, yeah. You don't actually have to crouch it. It's fine, people. People can just stare at your abdomen. But yeah. Are you gonna go to the revival, Joe, and let him see whether or not you've been tainted by evil?
Well, I mean, I'm never. I think for the stamp of approval, Joe's just gonna go.
He's just gonna go? Yeah. Yep. Are you wearing gloves or anything by chance?
I did always imagine her wearing like hide gloves. Yeah.
Always imagine her wearing hide gloves. Let's look at the character inventory sheet.
Hide gloves, yeah.
Does it list gloves?
Well,
I don't think so.
Not to be that guy, Will, but you did draw her with gloves.
Inventory.
I did draw her with gloves. That's.
They weren't in the inventory list.
All right. No, you know what? Fine, fuck it. You got gloves. It's not like he needs to physically see the taint anyway. And I'm actually building it up because it doesn't matter. It's an irrelevant factoid. I was just fucking with you guys. No, yeah, you take communion and everything is fine. He does not walk over and personally anoint you, seeming satisfied, perhaps, that Jeremiah brought you in a thrall as he was.
Uh-huh.
So she didn't
Joe's
see
just gonna
God.
say amen.
She
or
did not see
something.
God.
In
Nope.
Jesus Christ, amen. Okay.
Amen, my child. Go with God.
Cool.
Now,
All right, I'm.
This would be a great time to, talk to this guy.
yeah, Joe.
But
Exactly.
Welcome back.
Hey, welcome back, Ray.
Okay.
Joe, do you think we should tell this high and mighty gentleman about the two devils running through this town? Brother and sister, incestual, disgusting.
I mean,
Somebody in the crowd shrieks like in a bestial roar and lifts a revolver, firing off a shot directly. I mean, like it's going right at the old Reverend's forehead, and quick as that bullet comes out,
oh,
the giant executioner axe from one of the gentlemen behind him is slung off its back and blocks the shot completely. Tonk. There is.
I'm going.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say I'm going to shoot the guy that shot at him.
Oh yeah, okay. Give me a shooting roll. One or two, you hit somebody in the crowd.
It happens.
It happens. I'm sure he'll see it. That. Oh yeah. Boom. You plug the guy. He's in the neck. He's going down. He is wounded and bleeding out, gurgling, trying to feebly lift the revolver. And the Reverend puts up his hand to stop you. You need not engage in any more violence, my son.
I'll spit it back in my holster.
He walks over and he says, "This pathetic creature has been lied to by the Dark One. Lucifer infests this town, and in doing so has corrupted the hearts of men. This poor creature here is not even a man anymore, but a remnant. And I condemn him to the hereafter." And again, the sword, woof, thunk, screeched. Goo.
So, Joe, now that you've seen one of them turn to goo,
Yep.
what do you think happened?
Yeah, well, it's clearly new science. The sword inguminates. It's
I was gonna say there must be some kind of chemical
right.
encased on the sword.
Yeah. Explain that a little more to us. What nature of
flaming
chemical would cause somebody to writhe and then, turn into blood gag?
Well, I'm trying to think of if there is any kind of bleach
Also, is
and,
blood gag the next emote? It might be. I'm feeling it.
Gosh, do it.
Yeah.
Oh my
I'm
god,
trying to
I
think
won't
if
have any
there is
idea what
any-
it is.
I know. Well, so we'll have to explain it to you every
man.
time it's used in chat. That is the downside.
Was there like bleach back? Like, I'm just trying to think of now in today's time.
There was
like,
Lysol back then, but you do not want to know what it was used for. Douches. That's what it was
Kinda-
used for.
That's what
Yeah.
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 Fuck. Rough times. And no, is lie a thing that
Lie is
can
definitely a thing, but that would be some
it wouldn't
quick
break
acting.
down
Maybe it's ghost lie. Yeah.
Quick lie.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
otherwise,
also, I mean, like off gas, you can't really breathe that. There's some things that lie would do, but that's a reasonable enough explanation. I'll take it.
Okay.
He has a sword that exudes lie
Joe's
somehow
not
equally
really
into every
into-
part of
yeah.
Never mind the
Some
fact that it glows green, or all of a sudden Jeremiah's like taking off his
Ghost
hat
rock.
around the guy.
Ghost rock.
It's true.
Well,
Ghost rock.
Joe definitely knows.
Shit, Jeremiah
some
must have spit in his
religious
hand, like
kinda
slicked his
nuts.
hat back, like
Oh gosh.
tightened
yeah.
up his bolo tie a little, in the presence of God, one of God's messengers, hell.
Yeah, I'm like full on Jesus freak at this point.
What would people
God.
say if they knew I was a Jesus freak? Come on, DC talk, anybody? No? Oh god, we went to different
No.
foster homes. Okay, moving on. So, Newsboys? No? No? Wow,
No.
did nobody listen to Christian alt rock circa 1997? Now, Leroy, back in the late 90s, you see, there were bands that were rock bands, but they replaced, like, sex and drugs with just, like, Jesus. Right? You just take Baby out of a rock song, you replace it with Jesus, boom. They were real
Wasn't
big.
there a cover band from
Jesus,
AC/DC, but it was like
Jesus,
something about...
oh, Jesus.
Yeah, whoa.
No,
You
I'm too
glitched out
young for
there for a
that.
second, so your head was like, and it was perfect. It really, I mean, you sold it. But yes, okay, so 2 of you have taken communion. The Reverend is standing there. The crowd is starting to thin. He's worked his way about through a third of the people assembled there. I think the people that are going to get burned are pretty aware what's going to happen at this point and are trying to make themselves scarce. But again, the executioner guy didn't even get a chance to show, how badass he was with the axe that totally doesn't turn into 2 parts at the end of a chain. So nothing going on there. That's cool.
No, he was pretty cool. He whipped it off his back and blocked a bullet.
He did. He did block a bullet in midair. Yeah.
That's pretty quick.
That is damn quick. And he's a big one, too.
Yeah.
Also should be noted that was the one with his eyes sewn shut. So do with that what you will.
Oof.
Ooh,
These are some
That's
impressive people.
badass motherfuckers. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to go and tell the Reverend about these incestual twins here in town.
All right, let's have that conversation then. You look troubled, my son.
Hat off again.
Mm-hmm.
Only respectful. Reverend, since we have arrived in this town, there's been nothing but disturbing imagery and well, just plain disgusting activities going on.
I suspect that's why the Lord called me here.
Oh, indeed, and I, am certainly glad you have arrived to dispense his justice, but there is a great evil afoot here that I think you should know about. In town, in the what they call the Fessler Mansion, there is an incestual of siblings that, well, I think they do some kind of, I don't know.
Are you saying that they lie with each other as a man and a woman?
Yes, they know carnal knowledge of each other.
In the biblical sense?
Certainly, Reverend.
Go on, my son.
It's perhaps worse.
No, I mean, go on, my son.
Oh.
No.
Well, you see, when a man loves a woman, no. I have seen them together, and they have magics of a darker nature. The woman attempted to seduce me, but I was saved by a friend. And
which
I
direction
think we should go.
Is this mansion, my child?
It is in the northeast.
Can you point to it for me?
Yes, I'll point northeast of the midway.
He raises his hand and does this, and the 3 gentlemen behind him immediately head off in that direction.
So, hey, Miss O'Day, where are we?
You are by Phineas's wagon. He has just gotten back from communion with Lu Fang.
Hiding somewhere?
If you guys had taken the time to know, Lu Fang polished off the goblet,
That motherfucker.
Whoa! Gary,
Also, Reverend, if you have a moment, there are a number of bodies and pieces of bodies down in the main tent that, well, I think, perhaps we should say a prayer for those lost to this evil.
If there are those here that are dead on unconsecrated ground, we will see that they are all buried in a proper Christian fashion. Their souls should not languish here simply because of the evil that has been allowed to fester.
Indeed, and thank you.
You need not thank me, my child, but the Lord our God who guides me with his divine hand.
Amen.
As the mechanical hands of his 3-foot associate go crazy on the keyboard. Give me a notice roll.
Is this like a half Terminator stenographer?
Yeah.
Is that what's going on?
Yep. Well, it's just, so he's a whole body. It's his hands cut off at the forearm. It looks like these hands are designed literally just for typing. They're locked in position, little raptor arm style. It's just the typewriter. And from the notice roll, it is not transcribing anything you said, just the words of the Reverend.
Okay.
Which, it has to make context weird, right? Like.
Yeah. Right. You would only see his side of the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But, fair enough. My words are not holy enough yet. Maybe one day I'll have my own stenographer.
With the faith of a mustard seed, my child, you can move a mountain. Or perhaps the wills of evil men to a new purpose in pursuit of greatness and chastity.
Indeed, those are truer words than I've ever heard spoken on this earth.
For not all those that are lost cannot be found, my son. But it does require a certain will.
It's almost like revelation that you would say that, Reverend. Because, I have a couple of ladies that I've been accompanying for some time now.
You shut your mouth.
Have
you shut your dirty ass mouth.
They've saved me more times than I can count, Reverend. I would not be here today to see our Lord in the way that you have shown him about these women. I believe they are pure of character, if not pure of spirit.
That is not for us to judge, my child.
Indeed.
What troubles you? Why do you, if these are people of good character and good spirit, what troubles you about their presence in your company, my son?
Well, with tonight's revelations, I just hope that, God's forgiveness and grace will find these women, he'll find them not wanting,
Well, I am
see through.
assured that if they are as you have described them, they have not to fear. The Lord is wrathful, and he is vengeance incarnate, but he is also love. Because those aren't dichotomous concepts that are entirely, self-contradictory.
And that's what I'm trying to figure out from this guy. Yeah. Is this New Testament God or is this Old Testament God? And it seems
legit.
Like Old Testament
God.
My
God.
So, gouged a dude's eyes out, repent carved into his chest, has actively murdered at least half a dozen people here in his tent revival. 50-50 New Testament, Old Testament,
Most of them turned to goo, which made me assume that they were the evil.
That's true. That's true. Unless he does have a lie sword,
He could. That's true.
But, this is a New Testament indeed. He is relying on his own moralistic worldview, though, to make those determinations, isn't he? So, it is,
Yeah, so I will walk back to the wagon and tell the ladies that I think they should go and take communion.
Give me a notice roll. Everyone. All y'all.
Everybody. Okay.
Excellent, excellent, excellent.
Hey, what did my elven
sorry, Joe. Eliza, there are a couple of figures in the wood line. About, I don't know, you guys are 50 yards or so away from the trees here in the back of the meadow. And one of them is observing you through a lens that glows green for a second, opens up, and contracts.
Okay. Gonna warn everyone near me. We've got company.
Also,
And-
Eliza, it is pretty clear to you that from the augmentations on this individual with that notice roll, that he is probably attached to the group of augmented religious fanatics that have come into town.
God damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. You know, she hasn't done this since she was a little girl in Sunday school. And she's just gonna kind of kneel down and then do like the sign of the cross and like do a prayer.
You do?
Yeah.
And with that, we're going to end it. She kneels down, a huckster, in Congress with the malevolent spirits, and engages in a prayer to an entirely different hierarchical deity structure, while under the auspices of at least one individual from the wood. Now, would they have put everybody up front? You think, I mean, a spectacle. He seemed real comfortable letting those three guys take off and handle some stuff like, oh boy, maybe this is a proper. Hey, did somebody mention something one time about having to drug an entire cult? I do not. Does anybody in the party mention that this wasn't their first time drugging a cult? Well, that's for next week, isn't it? At any rate, I have been your marshal this evening, Will Thompson. Thank you for sticking with us through this episode of Deadlands Reloaded. We had some connection issues, we had some Sirenscape issues, but hopefully we will have that all sorted for next week because, oh boy, we thought we were going to come to some kind of conclusion tonight, and all we did was just add a bunch more ingredients to this pot of stew, didn't we? Holy cow, how many different climactic, potentially story-ending events I mean, right here, right now. I can't think of. I mean, this is probably, honestly, the most horrific story hooks I've ever had spinning at one time in any narrative I have created. Deadlands is amazing at that. It has taken just half of what's there, adding your own half to it, and going, holy shit, it started out stew, but now it's chili, and it's muy caliente. But again, I've been your marshal this evening. This has been the League of Gentlemen Explorers. And folks, may your dice always roll hot. Thank you for tuning in.
Bye!